It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show.
Carpenter has another touchdown.
Cross to the middle. Juggle. Diving touchdown, Nebraska. Davison on the deflection.
Oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break?
The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show is powered by T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Vitalize Health, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, Barnwood and Leather, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Get up and get loud, Husker fans. The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. It is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show here on 93.7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com. Connor Happer with you to start things off today with my good friend Mike Schaefer. Good morning, Mike.
How we doing?
This is about the time we usually take off anyway. So
Yeah. Normally there'd be like a 20-minute segment that we never fully decide what we're going to talk about, but then we just get through 20 minutes anyways.
That's pretty much the story, yeah.
But then the real show sort of always feels like it starts at 8:30, whether it's an interview that we have at 8:30 or whether it's just the first topic that we're fully going to launch ourselves into.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just like a normal day of work for us.
So here we are. Welcome to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. We're about 2.5 hours away from Nebraska, Oklahoma. Historic rivalry. And you could feel the history coursing through our veins today.
Can you?
Yes.
I'm maybe just you then.
Slider's here. Hey,
Slider is definitely here.
Slider's down here. If we get the dog on the camera, eventually we'll do that. He's hanging out with me over here on this side, though. Rico's also here.
I didn't know we could bring our pets. I would have brought Ellie.
Jeez.
You pets, not pests.
Oh, my bad.
Another blatant disrespect of your daughter.
No, I love her, but she does not like it when Dad leaves. So I was like, I'll just take her with me. And I was like, no, that's a terrible idea. If I would have known Slider was here, they could have entertained each other.
Probably. Slider would like to hang out with you in the production room, but you were not here when we started the show.
I'll just open the door and let him out.
Yeah, come get Slider.
Yeah,
Come get Slider.
Yeah. Ellie loves dogs until they get close to her, and then she doesn't love dogs.
That's every little kid. Like they love them from afar, but as soon as it's like, whoa, this thing is actually way bigger than me, then it's like, oh, Mo, I can't do this.
Yeah, right. The big fluffy.
Yeah.
Anything big and fluffy is like, oh, this is really a cool thing. It's kind of how I still feel with Big Bird. It's like I see Big Bird on TV.
You mean Joe Acker? You know that story, right?
No, I don't. What's the story?
So for whatever reason, like Brunts' daughter took to calling Joe Acker Big Bird, or she heard Joe Acker's name announced on a broadcast and she thought it was Big Bird for some reason, and she kept saying Big Bird when she heard his name for a game. She did it like 2 or 3 times, and it's adorable and
Big
hilarious.
Bird.
Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, if Joe Acker goes on to have more success in baseball, I'm going to work to have his baseball reference page have his nickname being Big Bird.
Big Bird.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No one will
great.
understand. But
I was doing baseball last night. That was fun. They beat Creighton. Yeah. Anytime you get to beat Creighton is a good thing.
Did they need all 12 innings to beat Creighton, or had they done it before?
It got a little wacky in the last 3 innings.
As it does in a Nebraska Creighton game. Did Creighton treat it like their normal midweek?
They pitch a different pitcher every inning.
Okay, that's great.
So then for the 12th, Nebraska was leading after the top of the 12th, so the game was over. But then they were like, actually, let's play the bottom of the 12th. So for the bottom of the 12th, Creighton did something very special, which was they threw 3 pitchers in the bottom of the 12th.
That's a Creighton.
So they, I believe, used 14 pitchers last night.
Any notable performances for Nebraska?
It was interesting watching Drew Christo make his debut last night. So he comes in and he gives up a bomb.
Yeah.
Right away.
That's what happened the first time he took on Leighton Banjoff.
That's what Harvell said last night. By the way, Lance Harvell had to be the head coach last night.
Yeah,
Will got COVID. Hey, there you go. There's Rico's stuff.
The show is off the rails.
Yeah, it's off the rails.
It's
already.
Like a real show.
So Harvell's like after the game, yeah, I guess, it was pretty tough for Christo, but but also at the same time, it's happened to him before. And apparently, as Banjoff was rounding the bases in his first full at bat, he was like, "Welcome to college baseball."
That's what I asked Brunt. I was like, did he yell "Welcome to baseball," or Rook?
He said, "Welcome to college baseball." Yeah. So then last night, the Creighton kid hits one too, and it's shaky, and he lets the bases get loaded. I think he walked a guy, and then he struck out too and looked filthy. So
it'll take a little bit, but I have full belief in Drew Christo.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a thing for Nebraska this year. The other guy that I continue to like in my couple times watching him is the transfer from Grand Canyon, Dawson McCarville, sinker slider guy, kind of like Chance Hirochi with a little bit more zip, in a bigger guy. Like you're not going to see him 170 pounds rocking a mustache, a handlebar mustache, but like same type of pitcher, sinker slider.
Relies on grit and guile a little bit more than just pure stuff.
I think he'll be able to get a lot of outs for them this year.
Yeah.
He's an out getter.
Were you a grit and guile style?
Oh, definitely. I was definitely a sinker slider guy. Yeah. Sinker change, really, but yeah.
I just threw hard and inside and then hoped to get the outside corner every
Could not throw hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
actively
relatively
trying to throw hard.
Not like in the top 10% of velocity, but medium level. It's just when you throw inside, it seems a lot harder.
So welcome to the football pregame show
with a baseball preview.
Here we are. Schaefer, what's your kind of, as you woke up this morning and turn your attention to this game, what was the thing that kind of crossed your mind?
I mean, it really just one of the things that kind of dawned on me yesterday is that of all the sort of multi-year starting quarterbacks, they almost all have like kind of a signature win in their career.
Whoa.
And so Adrian does not have that yet. And if you go back and you try to figure out, okay, what would his signature win be? You probably arrive on Minnesota or Michigan State in 2018. So that was several years ago at this point.
Yeah.
You could argue Illinois in 2019, but I don't know how many people would want to hear that argument. He obviously was very good in that game.
That was one of the best games he's played.
Right.
Yeah.
And Illinois ended up being a bowl team that beat Wisconsin that year. I don't know how loud that argument would get for most people. So he's sort of searching for one. Because if you go back through, I mean, Taylor Martinez had several. Tommy Armstrong had at least a handful. And then you look at some other guys even before that. Zach Taylor had some. Like if you were a multi-year starting quarterback at Nebraska, generally you've had opportunities to come away with a big win or two. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to necessarily happen today, but it's just something that I was thinking of.
It's interesting because that's a conversation we've largely avoided this week because Nebraska's a 23-point underdog, and it's like, or can they come up with a signature win? It's like, I don't know, but that would certainly do it, and it would change a lot. I feel bad because we almost haven't entertained it enough.
Yeah, well, and it's hard to because like the score predictions I'm getting from friends and that I'm seeing from other people. Like it either it fits in two camps. There's they keep within like 15-ish points or they lose by 35. Like no one's like, they lose by 24, which would just barely cover the number. It's no 48-24. It would have to be like 65-24 for, so it's like, as it always is with Nebraska, or as it has been lately, there's just wildly varying degrees of where this team can come in on this game. I'm someone who thinks that they could keep it within 10 points if they play their best ball, but I just don't know. I mean, the other thought that I sort of had this morning is that first quarter is just massive for them because they're such a slow starting team that they can't really afford that against Oklahoma. They need to come out and play and have quick success because, one, I think that'll fundamentally keep them in the game. Two, if you can shift the burden to Oklahoma at some point early in this game, you heard what Tyler was like on Thursday. I mean, there's a lot of concern that this is a team that's sort of like
jimmies.
The emperor with no clothes. People just don't really fully buy in on this Oklahoma team yet in that fan base. And so if Nebraska can simply do that, which would have to necessitate scoring early on one of your first couple drives, forcing a turnover or a quick 3-and-out or something that just gets momentum on your sideline. If they can do something like that, I think they can hang in the game. But the blowout blueprint is there, and that's a slow start followed by Oklahoma just hitting a big play.
In games like this, and we went over some of the better opponents Nebraska's played over the last couple of years, but in games like this, in which they get, the result ends up Nebraska losing by a whole bunch, the recipe for it is exactly what you just explained. Yeah. A slow start or a turnover right out of the gate or a 3-and-out, or, you let up a big play right away and it just takes all the air out of the room. And yeah, you can make the argument Nebraska as a program shouldn't be that kind of fragile where, one thing changes and we will and have all day long. However, it's the reality of the situation right now, and they need to have a quick start.
Yeah, well, and just think of it this way: like in a fight, Nebraska needs to throw quick punches early. Like they're not the sort of team that can just hang in the back and absorb a bunch of blows like Muhammad Ali and then hit knockout punches late. Like they're just not.
That's right.
Nebraska isn't. They're not really built to hang around.
In fact, the teams that have beaten Oklahoma over the last couple of years they got hot starts and just hung on.
Other than the Kansas State 17-point comeback, which is sort of the outlier in those. Yeah. But in all of those games, and then the other kind of critical factor here is Nebraska has to score in the 30s. This we have discussed. Mm-hmm. I don't know that people have really locked in on that as much yet. But that this isn't like if you were really down on Nebraska's chances to hang in this game, I think it would be predicated on the fact that their offense just simply doesn't score enough points. Mm-hmm. And some of that is going to be, can the defense set them up? I mean, there's no pathway if they don't get some sort of big defensive play today.
All right. Let's have a chat with our good friend Steve Sipple from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Let's do it.
He's here. Hi, Sip.
Hey, Happer and Schaefer's. You're right in your normal routine today.
That's what we said. We are right where we're supposed to be.
We started with baseball. Good morning.
Yeah, even though we chatted baseball to start it off. You probably heard some of what we were saying there, but what would you say the number is that Nebraska needs to get to offensively to even have a shot to win this game?
Just like what you got. This is what Schaefer was saying. If I had to actually put a number on it, honestly, I'd probably go 41. I would go no lower than 38. So I'd say 41, probably 41.
Do you think Nebraska has a shot to get there?
But, I hate to just cover ground that Schaef's already covered, but there's no way to do it unless you get something out of defense and maybe special teams. If you could get a return or a block punt that either you score off of or sets you up really well. No, yeah, I think you need about 10 to 14 off that to do it, which is, you never know.
Yeah, it's not completely inconceivable by any means.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I mean, 41's probably a little high for this discussion. Maybe I'm giving Oklahoma a little too much credit here, but the teams, if you just look at the teams that have beaten them or hung with them, Tulane scored 35 and would have needed, they would have needed 40 to win. Last year, Kansas State needed 38, and I think Iowa State needed 35 or 37. So you're right in that ballpark. I think that's what you're talking about here.
We were talking yesterday. On Friday we put together some props, and I threw one at Happer that kind of led to some discussion, and so I want to throw it to you. Which is more likely? Adrian Martinez more touchdowns, Adrian Martinez more turnovers between those two stats against each other?
Ooh, that's a good prop. When you say you're saying a count for touchdowns?
Yeah, so total touchdown. So passing counts too.
Okay. Well, I think I would go. I think he's capable of accounting for 4, and I think I'd go. He'll have more touchdowns than turnovers. I think he can account for 3 or 4, and not turn it, and maybe turn it over once or twice. So I'd say over.
You just wrote a column about this. Do you feel like Adrian's in a good headspace for this game, like relative to where other times, 2019 game against Ohio State, they're coming off of sort of a weird win against Illinois and a bad loss to Colorado. And this, he's got a little bit more lead up. It was a start of the season against Ohio State last year. I mean, do you like where Adrian's at as he goes into this game at 11 a.m.?
Yeah, I do. I think he's absolutely more comfortable with everything they ask of him. And I think he's always been, I don't think he's ever been in a terrible headspace, but he's talked about the adjustment he had to make to that kind of reality, that they do ask a lot of him. Now, it helps that it looks like they're going to have some of these guys healthy that you kind of wondered about. Austin Allen's on the trip, and Vokalec's on the trip, and Manning's on the trip, and Betts is on the trip. I don't think you'll see Oliver Martin, but it helps to have those guys. It helps alleviate some pressure on Adrian. But as far as the leadership component, Adrian really embraces that now. I think he's always been a very willing leader. It's just a matter of degrees. And I think he's embracing it to a higher degree than he ever has. And yeah, I definitely, I talked to him in the hallway after his little session on Monday. And yeah, he's definitely, there's no question he's in a good head spot. He's a grown man now. And this is the sort of thing he can handle. If it doesn't go well for him, I don't think it's because he's freaking out there. It's because he feels uncomfortable mentally or is just overwhelmed by the situation. That wouldn't be the reason. He's not going to be freaked out by the crowd or anything like that, or the intensity of the game or the moment. He can handle all that now. It's just a matter of executing.
Let me ask you this then. So with that, and with, I think, the confidence that Nebraska's defense is playing with, Scott Frost said yesterday that, they basically that they have nothing to lose. They feel like they have nothing to lose. Is Nebraska, does it feel like Nebraska's in a good position, or as good of a position as they have been in a while, to play well in a game like this?
Yeah, I think you just drilled down to something really important. Remember the other day how I said, what can we say that's sort of original? I think you just did. I think they are. I think it is a pretty good setup. I think this all sets up fairly well. I don't know that I would have said that like Thursday. I don't even know if I would have said it early yesterday, but when it became apparent that they're going to have some of these guys on offense back, or, 4 of them, it looks like. Yeah. I think that I would say, because of that and because of what you just suggested, there's not a lot of pressure on Nebraska today. They're in pretty good shape health-wise. They've had 2 games to kind of find their footing after a real disappointing opener. Yeah, Happer, I would say it this way. There's no excuse today not to play well. There really isn't. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say there's no excuse not to win, but there's no excuse not to play well. And you know what? The program should be in year 4 far enough along that they can press OU. I think the conversation is a little different in Nebraska than it is here. You talk to people here and they expect Nebraska to press OU. A lot of people I've talked to do anyway. So yeah, let's see it. I didn't come here expecting to cover a blowout. That's not what I'm expecting today. I don't know exactly what to expect. I'm not expecting an Oklahoma blowout.
We spent a lot of time, as is custom, with talking about the quarterback and the offense, but the defense obviously has to have a good day as well. Who's a player that, in your mind, on the defensive side of the ball is critical to Nebraska's success if they should have it on Saturday?
Guys like Caleb Tanner come to mind. Your speed guys, Deontay Williams, Caleb Tanner I mentioned. Cam Taylor-Britt. I'd like to see Cam Taylor-Britt sort of emerge today. It's not like Oklahoma won't go at Cam Taylor-Britt. They'll go after everybody. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody that would be obviously important. Well, you know what? Damian Daniels in the middle, I thought last week was really important. If you're going to be a really good defense, usually a real good defense has a guy in the middle of the line, a middle guard, nose tackle, call him what you want. if he's not dominant, he's blowing up things a lot. And I think Damian's done he did a pretty good job through 2 games, but I thought last week was big for him to make that big play and assert himself a little bit more. So I'd say Damian's big.
Simple. We'll let you out on this then. Well, what's the kind of vibe right now? And did the memories fly back when you walked up to the? Are you at the stadium yet?
Yeah, I'm at the stadium. It's intense. I mean, it's a big time atmosphere. It's much. I mean, it's interesting. Like when you go to a place like Illinois and it's pretty sleepy. It was 11 a.m. kickoff, so you're expected to be somewhat sleepy. But for an 11 a.m. kickoff in Norman, it's not sleepy. I mean, it's intense outside the stadium. It's pretty amazing, actually. It is, everything about it screams big time. Everything about it says annual college football playoff team. It's intense at 8:00 in the morning, driving up here and walking up to the stadium. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. That's exactly what you want. All right, Sipple, enjoy the game. We'll look forward to the coverage, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good show.
Steve Sipple from the Lincoln Journal-Star. Check it out, HuskerExtra.com. You could also hear Sipple Monday through Friday, 6 to 8, right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Oh, that's great to hear. I've seen pictures from this morning.
Do you have a little twinge in the heart that you're not down there?
I do a little bit, yeah. I would have loved to. I saw Ben McLaughlin of the Husker Radio Network. He took a picture. I mean, he was the first picture I saw this morning of the field, and they have grass. They have a grass playing surface, and I love that. The Bermuda grass. So you can't do Bermuda grass in Nebraska. You can't do Bermuda grass in Big Ten country really at all. I don't think for any of the states.
You can do crabgrass.
Yeah, you sure can. You can do, and there. Look, I think there's only a couple grass fields in the Big Ten left. I think it's Purdue.
It's Ryan Field. It's Purdue, and then there's is Penn State. Penn State.
Yeah, I guess
Penn State's grass.
Penn State
and then
grass.
I don't remember about either Maryland or Rutgers.
Both turf.
Okay.
Both turf.
Yeah, I know Penn State is grass.
And look, it makes sense. You're in the north. You can't keep the grass that healthy, but I love a grass field.
He loves grass.
I love grass. Bermuda grass is beautiful. You can cut it way down short. The turf
is this some sort of turf builder commercial?
The grass is it's so crisp. It's
lush.
It's lush. It's painted beautifully. And you just look at the pictures that come out this morning and it's like, wow, this is really great. I get the same feeling when I walked into Arkansas Stadium when I was down there for the regional.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, it's just lovely. This is the way it should be.
Everyone wants to live in the South for the grass.
I do. There's nothing that Schaefer, yes. There's nothing that we could do about it here. The turf is our best option here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And by the way, Nebraska's done a better job with it over the last several years. The N on the field is brighter. Our red burns brighter, which is good. But there's only so much you could do. Grass is the way to be. I would love to live in the South for the grass.
Give me turf all day.
No.
All day. Turf.
Schaefer, you're a minimal upkeep guy. You just don't want to put in the work to make the grass look good.
No, I mean, we're not talking about a house here. We're talking about a football stadium. It just looks sharper with the turf.
Not if you have awesome grass.
I mean, maybe.
Look at the pictures.
Very few places actually have good grass.
Look at the pictures. Yes, but they're all in the South. Look at the pictures from the field today and tell me that's just not
I'll
beautiful.
look, and I'm sure I'm still going to prefer a turf field.
Oh, you will absolutely love it.
We'll see.
Bermuda grass all day, every day.
Twice on Sundays.
I wonder if you could do it in like Kansas. I wonder if there's a blend like southern Kansas. You can see a mix of the Bermuda grass.
Bill Snyder, is that not?
I think it's turf.
Is it turf?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to remember anymore.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have made shifts in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, shout out to Oklahoma because Oklahoma had the crappy turf that Nebraska had through the 90s.
The 90s turf.
Oh, my God. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It looked like the foam mats that, like
it's just
sea
concrete
green.
underneath.
Yeah.
There's no padding or anything like that.
Yeah.
Guys just get thrown down like they're playing on the blacktop. So you have the nice, soft, lush Bermuda grass.
Amazing.
This is one of my things for today. I saw the pictures this morning. I'm like, this is what we need.
You're going to give a score prediction, and it's going to be Oklahoma something, Nebraska something, grass, undefeated.
Yeah, but we all leave happy because we got to see the beautiful grass.
It's like you want to go to drive down there to take a nap on the grass, right?
Drumstick says Jack Trice is grass. Well, there's some stadiums in the north that are grass, but they're not Bermuda grass. They're Kentucky blue.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's just a little, you can't cut it quite as short because it's just the way the kind of grass is.
You can cut it shorter than they do at Ryan Field.
You can definitely cut it shorter than they do at Ryan Field. Yeah. Yes. You remember, so they tweeted out a picture about their grass or something like, I don't know, something like that. And I made a joke about their grass. I quote tweeted their grass picture. And then the Northwestern football team responded to me with,
got fits
with a measuring tape and how high the grass was that day. And they thought they were really funny.
The Northwestern sense of humor that none of us get.
Like I said, there's people mentioning northern stadiums with grass. They do exist.
Yeah, he's saying there's not Bermuda grass.
It's not beautiful, thick, luscious Bermuda grass. And watch those fields.
Is it grass like our hairline? Is that what you're saying?
What? Yes,
Northern stadiums has grass like our hairline.
Watch those fields. They turn brown awfully quick. They get beat up real quick. All right, that's my grass talk of the day. Opening segment. Thank you, Schaefer.
You're welcome
for hanging out. Are you sticking around or are you leaving?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
He'll do one more. Who will he do it with? I don't know.
We'll find out.
There are options.
Slider.
Opening segment brought to you by Planet Fitness. We'll take a quick break. Sliders here. Schaefer will stay on next on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We are built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories in the fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artesian cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake, an original recipe from 1917. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications. I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We are committed to bringing high-quality internet to everyone in our fiber communities. If you qualify for federal support or have been financially impacted during the pandemic, you may receive free 500 megabit internet from Allo. To find out more, please stop by the Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
Experience an increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina is the talk of the Haymarket, and for good reason. Grab a breakfast taco on game day morning or stop by for lunch or dinner for their huge variety of street taco options. They have everything from carne asada or chorizo tacos to shrimp or fish tacos to buffalo chicken and more. Plus, they have more than 140 different tequilas and tons of other beer or mixed drink options. At Tipsy Tina's, there's truly something for everyone. Make plans to stop by for any meal of the day at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at tohostire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket. And theticketfm.com. Powered by T.O. Haas Tire and Auto.
Just under 2 hours until kickoff in Norman, Oklahoma. I am Jake Sorensen here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Mike Schaefer still with us. Rico Alvarez-Clary here as well.
What's up?
You sounded very excited there, Jake.
Yeah.
Well, the mics are hot apparently. These are hotter than usual unless my hearing just sucks. It's probably possible.
I did turn my headphones
Well,
down.
my hearing got worse, which I didn't know that was funny.
Oh,
well, that's great. Hey, this segment is sponsored by T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust since 1947 in Lincoln, Omaha, and the surrounding areas. I walked in the studio today. I walked in the station, and I heard a jingle, which of course was your dog.
Yeah,
there's
lots of jingles.
Slider.
Jingles were on the board.
Not that type of jingle.
Oh.
The jingle of your dog, Slider, who greeted me with a typical, very happy smile, which I appreciated that.
Yeah, he's happy.
He's playing with Happer now over there and Tom.
This is his big day out. We walked here. He enjoyed the walk. Relieved himself several times along the way.
Is that short of a walk?
Good man.
It's kind of a short walk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
That's good to relieve himself out there instead of in here.
Yeah.
And no, that was the plan.
Big plus.
We were very hopeful that he took care of that before we came in here, because you just never know.
You don't want accidents in the studio. You don't want accidents here.
I wouldn't think that he would, but you never know. Dogs are dogs.
He's smarter than that, I think.
Sometimes.
All right. Well, how are you feeling about today's game? Are we feeling? I asked you guys yesterday in the show on early break. I asked Mike at least. You can answer this to Rico, but compared to where you were before the season to right now, do you feel better, worse, or the same about Nebraska's chances today of hanging/beating Oklahoma?
It's about the same. I mean, I do wish that I had more information on who exactly was going to be available at wide receiver, or even tight end. I think that's going to matter to a degree. But this game, really, if Nebraska is going to have a chance, they're going to have to make big plays. They're going to have to start fast. They're going to have to do some stuff that they haven't done this year, which is a little concerning. But it's not a talent thing. It's that they have to go out and do it. And I think that they can at least hang with Oklahoma. I'm very skeptical that they can pull this upset off. But I was before the season, too. So that really hasn't changed. And I think the last 2 weeks are more indicative of the version of Nebraska or the team in Nebraska that I thought we were going to get than week one. I just think that week one game makes Nebraska seem so much worse than what it probably is. But you earn that when you go to Illinois and you're not able to stay out of your own way and you lose a game.
I feel better on the Oklahoma side, but the same on the Nebraska side, if that makes any sense. Like in terms of how I felt about Nebraska going into this game before the season, nothing's really changed. I still don't really have that much confidence that they'll win. I mean, obviously, me being optimistic,
It's unlike you, Rico. That's unlike you,
Maybe
Mr.
an optimistic. I think
So
they're
instead
going
of
to
a
win.
21-point Nebraska win, you're thinking just 10?
I think like 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A
just a
9
little
point.
bit
9.
lower.
Wow, interesting.
You might as well just fold the program
field
up
goals.
if they only win
Connor
by
Cope
9.
redemption game
Yeah,
or
Connor
what?
Cope redemption game. But on the Oklahoma side of things, I feel better because entering the season, I thought that this Oklahoma team, was going to be on another level. And seeing what they are, seeing the Tulane game and seeing how they're not otherworldly, they are beatable. They do have holes. They do bleed like you and me. It made me feel like Nebraska has more of a chance against Oklahoma, but Nebraska hasn't helped themselves in helping me feel better about them.
I think we walked into the season feeling pretty good about the defensive, the secondary in terms of Cam Taylor-Britt, Dismuke, Deontay Williams, and Quentin Newsome, and whoever else would play over there. And then the first game against Illinois, Sitkowski comes in and has no issues with Nebraska's pass defense. And then the next two games, they had some moments. It wasn't a great showing by those quarterbacks, but I'm curious. Marvin Mims today is one of the best receivers in the country for Oklahoma, and Spencer Rattler, despite not looking, he looked good, not phenomenal so far. He's been good. Do you believe Nebraska has the cornerback/safeties that can contain Marvin Mims and that explosive receiving core from getting big chunk after big chunk?
Yeah, in 3 games, no one has really thrown that much on Nebraska. I don't know how many teams have gone.
Sitkowski hit the throws when he had to.
Yeah,
well, he had a deep throw down the sidelines too.
The thing is, like they're giving up a decent percentage clip, but teams are averaging like 5.5 yards of a completion, and that is not very good.
No, that's you'll take that.
Like as a defensive stat, you really like that.
Absolutely.
Now, you haven't faced anything close to what they're getting today, so how much that matters. And you had at least one team in Buffalo that really was more of a run first, 2 in Illinois. So it's going to be different. I think Nebraska's secondary has been a little underwhelming despite what the overall numbers have been. I'd like to have seen more pass breakups. They have 2 interceptions, both from Deontay Williams in that regard. And then, of course, they have 2 linebacker interceptions as well. They only have 3 pass breakups as a secondary right now, which is not particularly good when teams have thrown 99 times on you.
It's a little
low. It feels like they don't get that close to the ball. Because they play that soft coverage a lot. And then when Cam Taylor-Britt has gambled a couple times, it has not paid out for him. He had that one on the third down by the, in the defensive red zone, if you will. And it went for a first down and he was like slow to break on it. And the whole thing went poorly. But that's kind of the attitude that they're going to have to play with, right? Like there's no way to win this game if Nebraska isn't aggressive on defense. And whether that's Deontay Williams punching a ball out, whether that's Quentin Newsome or Cam Taylor-Britt getting their hands on something, whether that's as simple as Damian Daniels or Ty Robinson or Ben Stilley getting their paw on something and just knocking it up in the air. I mean, there's you can help out your defensive backs a lot of different ways. I think those 3 guys are equally as important to this equation because Nebraska is going to need a lot of linebackers in coverage. If you can get pressure from 3 defensive linemen, if you can get Garrett Nelson on the field as a defensive lineman and move Ben Stilley inside as a defensive tackle, that's how they played against Purdue. That Purdue's probably the last good passing attack that they've faced, and that was with a quarterback that's nowhere near the Spencer Rattler equation, but wide receivers that are better than Marvin Mims. So in that day, Nebraska used a lot of 4 defensive linemen, and they brought Garrett Nelson down as an end. They moved Stilley over, and they found some success that way. I think you've got to get a pass rush that isn't just blitzing, and that's hard. I mean, Nebraska doesn't have much of a pass rush as it is, but Oklahoma's offensive line is going to allow something.
This is the ultimate bend but don't break defense day. You're not going to contain Oklahoma and go 3 and out all the time. It's to keep the big plays at a minimum, and also it's important that you make the first tackle. These guys excel in yards after the catch. They get big plays. They have some big throws that are just excellent routes and good throws, but they also are good because they're fast and elusive at breaking tackles, juking guys out and going the distance. And so you got to be really, as you said,
fundamentally
Cam Taylor-Britt, the example there, going for the pick. If you do that, you're going to give up a big play.
At the very least, you got to get a hand on it.
With the defensive backs, I think the soft coverage is definitely not the way to go. And I know you're a little scared of the speed of Oklahoma getting past you and Spencer Rattler completing those passes deep. But when Nebraska plays pressure, it seems like they do better against the wide receivers. They're keeping them out of their routes and they're breaking up. They're not getting the pass breakups necessarily, but what they are doing is they're disrupting the timing between the quarterback and the wide receiver. So a lot of these passes are going where the quarterback believes the wide receiver should be, but the corners and the safeties are being so physical that they're not there. So it doesn't count as a pass breakup, but on the other hand, they are breaking up the route and the quarterbacks and the quarterback's timing between the wide receivers.
Let me give you a hypothetical here, because I think a lot of people this week have asked, what is acceptable? What did you take away as a positive in this game?
Such a weird question.
I know, because obviously you want a win is what you want.
Sure,
you want to expect to win every football game, but
no one's going to feel better if they lose 36-27.
No, but not. Here's the hypothetical though. Like, let's say Nebraska, it's I've said the goal all along is make the game in doubt going into the fourth quarter. So let's say you're down by 7 points or so, but and they end up winning by 21 points. They pull ahead and win by 3 touchdowns. Are we going to walk away feeling like, all right, that was acceptable and we can take that, or disappointed? Like, what's the stance? Because that's a very possible situation where you feel good through 3 quarters, they pull away in the fourth. Are we saying that, all right, that's progress, the Big Ten play, we have a chance in now?
I think because they're so far down the road, and Sipple sort of mentioned this too, they're in the 4th year with this head coach. Like, you need to be able to put some pressure on a program like Oklahoma today. I mean,
yeah, you do.
You come out and do nothing, that's going to be pretty eye-opening and damning in its own way. And that's always a possibility with this program. Unfortunately, it always feels like that's more of a possibility than it should be, but that's the reality of it. It's hard for me because there's so much like big picture that the rest of the season sort of begins the day after this game ends, that it's hard to, if Nebraska loses by 17, they lose by 37, or they lose by 7, they still lost. And none of that will matter when they go to East Lansing next Saturday. It's a different season, different game, different pressure. And so, I mean, what you want is like, if they come out, Adrian plays well and he doesn't turn the ball over and they don't win, like, there's a lot of good stuff to take away from that. But it's how they carry that from this game to the next that's really going to be important, not just this game as an individual structure. Because even if they miraculously pull off an upset here and they turn around, they lose in East Lansing, it's like they just gave it back.
Yeah, so you're right. Exactly.
I don't know that there's a lot just in this game alone that I'm going to pull out from a big picture standpoint. Because what I want to see is a continuation of a team that looks like it's sort of found its footing the last 2 weeks. I want to see a quarterback that seems confident and is going to play well in Norman in a tough situation. And I would like to see an offense sort of start faster than the 0 points it's been putting
just
up.
hasn't been doing it early on
in a lot of these first quarters so far. So those are the things I want to pull from the game. But I just, how they lose in the deficit amount matters so little to me at this point, because the season really begins in East Lansing. And not to say that this game doesn't matter at all, but it's just that, if they lose by 35, it's not going to change my thoughts on what happens the following week. What more likely would is however Michigan State plays against Miami today. Nebraska's sort of Nebraska. Like, that's some of the most frustrating thing with this program is that you don't get to take a lot of these big things away from their games because they're so wildly inconsistent from week to week. What do you do with it sometimes?
What I've been wrestling with that question all week, where it's what's acceptable and what's not, and I've just thought they could have two mess ups, 3 mess ups, like Cam Taylor-Britt just slips, like he doesn't get beat, he slips, goes for a touchdown, and like 2 other things where it's not necessarily like a player's fault, where it's just something crazy happens and they could end up losing by 21, but they're down by 21, and the rest of the game they play right next to Oklahoma and they just end up losing by 21 points. And if you think about it that way, like you take that and you're like, oh, you lost by 3 touchdowns, like you got smoked. But on one hand, you're like, no, the rest of the game you played with them, you were with them the entire time and it looked good, but the final score you ended up losing by 21. How do you take that? Do you say, oh, you got blown out, or oh, you played a really good game? It's just really hard. I agree with you, where after this game, it doesn't matter unless you win. And even if you do win, if you end up losing to Michigan State, this Oklahoma win, and it means something because you beat a top 3 team. A lot. But if you beat Oklahoma and then you lose to Michigan State, and let's say Michigan State gets destroyed by Miami, today. Like it means very little in the grand scheme of things at the end of the season, depending on your record.
All right. I just don't think there's anybody that's going to be sitting out there and they see this game and Nebraska hangs close and they're going to change their opinion on where this program is. Like it's going to take wins, and it's going to take several wins for people to really change how they feel about this program.
Okay, I want to go back to what you said there, Schaefer, because you said the season really starts against Michigan State and East Lansing. And that to me has resulted in some frustrating conversations this week about people saying that obviously you want to win this game, but is it unwinnable against Oklahoma? For the guys who are banged up like Austin Allen, Oliver Martin, Omar Manning, all those guys who some might play, some might not. You hear a conversation saying if the season really matters more next week than it does this week, do you just hold all those guys out, say you take your L this week? And I hate that conversation, but it's out there because people agree with you that it's more important to win next week's game than it is this one.
Yeah, I think that it is. Now, for the overall sort of visibility of the program, it's not, you get a lot more run out of a win today than you would against Michigan State. But
prime time against the top 3 looks
I
better.
think with the injury thing, it's all case by case basis. If a guy is close enough to give you something today in Oklahoma, you're better off getting him on the lush Bermuda grass and having him play in that game so he can at least see what he's like. So then sort of what he could be against Michigan State. I mean, I don't know that you're going to get a great look at that during the week during practice because adrenaline matters. How a guy performs in a game matters. So I think if someone's close enough, you want to get him out there so you at least sort of see what it looks like. He might still be hurt, but there's a difference between that on a practice field and on a game field. If someone's not that close, then of course you're holding them out. And then, the Austin Allen conversation has nothing to do with how close he is. He has to if it's a concussion, he has to basically get through protocol, and that's out of everyone's hands. So I think you play the guys that are available for you, and you don't worry about next week until you get there. But you're not going to overly push anyone. If there's someone on the borderline, I guess, if you will, I'd probably lean to being cautious with it.
The text line is open for you, 402-464-5685, as are the phones. You can also watch the show on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube and comment there. Got a text from Wet Blanket. Let's see your thoughts on this. He says, I will be satisfied today if Nebraska, number 1, has an identifiable offensive game plan. Okay? Number 2, have no bonehead plays, turnovers, or missed short kicks on special teams.
No turnovers whatsoever.
I think it's hard to expect a game with no turnovers.
Even the great teams have turnovers.
Exactly. But how about no missed short kicks on special teams? Let's narrow that. Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
And then no bonehead plays.
I don't know what that
You're going to get
does that mean like a targeting or a stupid holding call?
I think I sent this to Happer earlier in the week. I just watched an NFL team in which both guards ran into each other on a play that went for 17 yards.
Wow.
So
hey, it works.
You're going to get like one or two.
You're going to get it's still it's still a football game. Things are still going to happen.
Something dumb will happen.
Yeah. If there's a dumb play, it doesn't necessarily mean Nebraska will lose. It just means there's a dumb play.
Number 3 for Wet Blanket is don't give up a touchdown and go 3-and-out on the first defensive and offensive possessions of the second half.
Yeah, I mean,
the second half has been a bad start for Nebraska.
That 8-minute thing, the 4 minutes at the end of the first half and the 4 minutes at the beginning of the second half is huge. I mean, if that is really a huge part of what they want to do. If they're able to do that successfully, it could be a big thing for Nebraska.
And number 4, Wet Blanket says, try something other than open backfield quarterback runs on 50% of third downs.
I think you're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works.
Man, Adrian's your guy, dude. That's the guy that Brett Bielema was circled saying number 2.
I mean, this is high school football, but I basically just watched the team's offense that was spread them out and just ISO ball like it was basketball for Millard South. So
if it works,
Wet Blanket wants to clarify. You meant no turnovers on special teams today.
Yeah, I'm 100% with him.
No punt return, kick return, turnovers, anything like that.
I'm 100% with him.
Unless you're forcing them.
It would be the first time.
Yes, of course.
It would be the first time they haven't turned it over on special teams this year.
It's the 4th game.
Which sounds embarrassing to say out loud.
It's not a kick return. It's always a punt return every time, every game. One single
Well, the
punt
kick returners
fumble.
allow themselves one return to
true.
the 16-yard
Right,
line.
of course.
So
I hate that so much.
Maybe we just say fair catch every kick, too. Every kick.
That's where I'm at with it.
Just take the 25
Or maybe if
yards,
you're going to
man.
return a kick, don't run into everybody.
Take the 25
That's what it
yards.
seems like. They're running to the 10, and they're like, "Where's the greatest amount of people? I'm going to run there."
Part of it is I think their blocking wall is not very good.
It's not.
Rico, I think a friend of yours is texting because it's a very optimistic person. Says, I personally think that the Illinois game was an upset win for the Illini. After crushing Buffalo, I am very high on this game. I've got the Huskers pulling off the upset 27-24.
They're going to need to score more than 20.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to win the game.
27-24 is not going.
Is that a first half score? Please ask him.
That might be a first quarter score.
Texture, is that did you win the
Not
first
for Nebraska.
Are you winning
quarter?
the first
Wow.
half here? I don't think it's going to happen there. Eric says, I'm hoping for something like 2018 at Ohio State. Close to the half, and then we fight until the end and cover.
I kind of feel like that's sort of the most likely positive outcome. That you play hard, you get a game in which Nebraska, shows that they can hang for a little while, but ultimately the talent wins out. And that's kind of what I sort of see is happening today. I mean, my prediction, and I don't know how or why I arrived on this exact score, was 36-27. So I have Nebraska hanging around a little bit.
Easily covering then.
Yeah. I think that number's too high. I mean, I think Nebraska is a top 40 team talent-wise, and they shouldn't be a 23-point underdog.
Well, I'll tell you what, that score, Schaefer, is right at the over-under, 62, and you're at 63 with that. So,
that was not planned.
If Nebraska has a lead at any point during this game, I am going to be inconsolable.
What if it's 7-0?
Well, you better prepare yourself for their opening touchdown followed by a Reimer pick six.
Yeah, 14-0.
It's going to be a problem.
Rico's going to be shirtless in the streets of Lincoln.
It's going to be a problem. Stop the count.
So, Schaefer, your prediction, 36-27 Oklahoma. I think Nebraska fans would take that and feel good about their chances in Big Ten play, at least Michigan State, back-to-back road games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they would take it. They would
still want to win.
To win and or just be told that they'll win the following week against Michigan State.
Yes, so take that for sure. We'll let you check out. Schaefer, thanks for your time this morning. We will have more next with Tom and Bach and Happer. We'll all check back in on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina is the talk of the Haymarket, and for good reason. Grab a breakfast taco on game day morning or stop by for lunch or dinner for their huge variety of street taco options. They have everything from carne asada or chorizo tacos to shrimp or fish tacos to buffalo chicken and more. Plus, they have more than 140 different tequilas and tons of other beer or mixed drink options. At Tipsy Tina's, there's truly something for everyone. Make plans to stop by for any meal of the day at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
What would you do if Nebraska takes the lead in the fourth quarter because Cam Taylor-Britt returns a punt for a touchdown?
I might have some big heart palpitations.
Think about in the context of the game of the century.
Yeah.
What kind of storyline would that be? Cam Taylor-Britt pushes Nebraska ahead. I'd write about it after Baz and Parker resuscitated.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications. I'm proud to say that ALLO is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We are committed to bringing high-quality internet to everyone in our fiber communities. If you qualify for federal support or have been financially impacted during the pandemic, you may receive free 500 megabit internet from ALLO. To find out more, please stop by the ALLO store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories in the fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artesian cakes, and especially Grandma's fruitcake, an original recipe from 1917. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Vitalize Health.
About an hour and a half from kickoff. Bach playing the air guitar. He's revved up. Nebraska versus Oklahoma, game of the century. This segment is brought to you by Vitalize Health. If you're lacking energy, you have increased body fat, depression, or fatigue, you might have low T. Visit vitalizehealthne.net to schedule an appointment today.
Yeah, listen to that or listen to this. Take that and I think you'll be good to go. This song gets you pumped up.
Absolutely. I'm revved up. This is awesome. Hot it up, baby.
Here we go.
Let's go.
It's game day, baby. Production booth's going crazy.
Yeah. Dig this song. Is this your favorite? Rod it up. Pot it up,
there we
baby.
go.
That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah. It's not my favorite Wolf Mother song, if that's what you're asking, though.
I had to look it up last time because I've had a bunch of buddies on the golf course say, what is that song? And it was Wolf Mother. They asked me like 5 years ago, and I just started playing the heck out of it, and we all love it.
How about that album back in the day? Back in the day when people bought albums.
You had Wolf Mother?
CD. Yeah. Yeah, that song gets you pumped up. They got a lot of good songs. They're one of those bands that sounds the same in every song, but
I didn't know that Wolf Mother was in your archives. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So Nebraska, Oklahoma today, of course, the game of the century. They're both going to be wearing the patches to honor that. I'm wondering, just from a historical standpoint, I guess Tom Osborne isn't going, which is a little disappointing. I know that he and Barry Switzer did a video together reminiscing about the game of the century. I think Rich Glover said he's going. A lot of the guys from that game are going to go. I hope they make it. I hope they make it a big ceremony, and I hope it's a game. And it would be really cool to see Nebraska just hang around. And we've had this discussion. How many points is it going to take to beat Oklahoma? I've heard you don't need to play perfect. You just need to play well and relatively clean and be in it at the end. I think they need to be almost perfect. And I love that Scott Frost is trying to take some pressure off, saying, this is, we have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose, everything to gain. I know what he's trying to do. I wish he wouldn't say things like that necessarily, but I do know what he's trying to say is maybe if I say that, then it'll take the pressure off and we can play clean and carefree and loose similar to what Nebraska did when they played at Ohio State in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's the reason why you don't like him saying that is because it's basically acknowledging that this is what it is, which is the 22-point, the favorite in Oklahoma. Yeah. I think I was going back and trying to think. I think other than a 2017 type of season where the writing was on the wall, I think this is the least amount of faith or belief that any Husker fan has going into any game that I can think of. So, I mean, those type of feelings and those words from Frost, it tells you where the program is. And I thought it was fascinating listening to the previous segment talking about, what's bigger, a win this week or next week. Then I go back to what we talked about this week when you said you'd probably rather have them beat Oklahoma than go to a bowl game.
I would.
Because this puts this, along with an Ohio State victory, there's a few opportunities to get. This puts you on the map and shows that the Scott Frost experiment is going somewhere.
I would say this. If they beat Oklahoma and they don't get to a bowl game, I would still be mad.
Sure.
Because it showed you that you could beat a top 3 team in the entire country, and then you didn't build on that.
They'd continue to be inconsistent.
So, I'd complain. Because that's what I do about Nebraska football. I would love to beat, though. It's been a while. And obviously Adrian hasn't had that signature win. Tommy had a few. The Michigan State game in 2015. Certainly Taylor Martinez had his signature wins. He had the Ohio State win, the biggest comeback in Nebraska football history. He had the Wisconsin win. He had some good wins. The Michigan State comeback was great.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those teams weren't great, but they were really good wins, and they kept the momentum. Remember the Northwestern game where in 2012, where I think it was the year that Bo said we got to win out. And they did.
They came back a lot in that year. That was fun.
They came. That was a fun year. So there were some signature wins with those dudes. And Adrian has the stats that say he's right there with those guys. But what's missing is the resume. What's missing is the game that says, okay, I owned that one. I was the reason we won that game. I threw 3 touchdown passes and ran for over 100 yards and had the winning drive at the end. I think it's in there. I think he's capable of that. But he's going to need some help today, and he's going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, he is, and that's where everybody kind of. I think most people are feeling pretty good about Adrian because of the way he's been playing over the last couple of weeks. I will say this: the quality of opponent that he's played might have something to do with that. Typically, when we've seen Adrian in these sort of situations, they haven't gone as well,
right.
Which is to be expected. Nick Benito and that Oklahoma front's going to be breathing down his neck all game long if he's going to drop back and pass. So it's a difficult matchup. But I just don't want it to be like it was against Ohio State the last couple of times we've seen him, where it's the first or second drive. You could tell Adrian's overmatched. You could tell the whole team's overmatched. You just go, this isn't going to go well. I hope that they can, keep it competitive. And it's sad that that's kind of the feeling going into this game. What I really hope is that they win, right? I hope that they can, because this would be monumental, and you need something monumental for the Scott Frost thing to turn around too well, because we can talk about getting to 6-6 and getting to a bowl game and showing progress, but then what are we doing next year? We're doing this kind of the same thing where I hope they get to 8-9 wins. It's time, and you're in year 5. If you really want to take a big step up, beating Oklahoma, beating Ohio State, and then you can kind of say, hey, we're closer than closer to the ultimate goal than just sneaking up and slowly making progression. It doesn't look like it's there. I'll admit it. But that's what these opportunities are there for, to completely flip the narrative. Nebraska can do that today.
It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. He's Bach. I'm Tom and Bach, weekdays 11 to 2. We talked about this earlier this week. What would success look like, assuming that you're not going to win? And I haven't seen one prediction aside from my brother. My brother Dan has predicted a Nebraska win.
There you go.
He's got his weekly poem. Would you like to hear his weekly poem?
Absolutely.
This is my brother.
Poetry.
He writes poetry. Game 4, Nebraska, Oklahoma. The Huskers and the Sooners renew their old-time fight. Win or lose for either team, this game just feels right. 2 teams with a history very few can match. Respect and admiration. A rivalry of class. Reverse psychology. Huskers upset Sooners 30.
Oh, there we go. That's a good
about
poem.
that?
I don't know if it's going to pay out to be true at the end.
But it's
I like the end. I like the no. It's well thought out. Yeah.
But he writes a poem for each and every game, and I read them. So there you go, Dan. But we did talk about what success would look like, assuming they don't win today, because I think there's an opportunity to gain something even in a loss. I still point to that Michigan State game next week in East Lansing as being the marquee game on the schedule. I wish Nebraska would have beaten Illinois, but I think it's possible to gain something from this, to look good, to play Oklahoma close, maybe cause some turnovers. The defense continues to progress, and we start to see something from the offensive line and the young running backs, and you're going to get 4 wide receivers back, it looks like, for today's game. I think it's possible for Nebraska to gain some confidence, even with a loss today.
I think so. And I mean, you could learn some things. If they can get the traditional running game going, even in a loss today, you'd be ecstatic. I mean, if the defense, plays their heart out and they can't quite, stop Oklahoma and the offense has its normal struggles, then you can say, hey, that defense is taking a huge step. So, I mean, there are definitely things that can be done today in a loss, in that make you feel better about the program moving forward. And I think that's what most people are hoping to see today. But, it's the kicking game, the special teams, a clean game. I mean, if you play a clean game and lose by 14, fans would feel pretty
I would respectable. I always say that, and then I still throw ham sandwiches at the TV. But I'm thinking, and we had this conversation, I think everybody has, how many points is it going to take for Nebraska to win this game? And I think back, ironically, I kind of think of the game of the century, 1971. If Nebraska could get to 35, I think theoretically they could hold Oklahoma to 31.
Yeah.
I doubt they could do much better than that. That would take an off day from a team that's averaging 58 points a game in Oklahoma. Oklahoma can score. You look at the stats; they aren't overwhelming in any category except for they haven't played anybody. So you just take that all off the board. And what did you learn from Tulane? They kind of let the foot off the gas in that one. I don't know what Oklahoma is yet, but I'm not sure I know completely what Nebraska is yet. So I think both teams have a little bit to prove. But if you could get to 35 today, I think Nebraska might have a chance. That also might include a defensive touchdown or a special teams. I mean, special teams have to show up. We haven't seen that from Nebraska, but that's what great teams do. It's what you see from Iowa every single week is that they play great on special teams. They get a couple of defensive touchdowns and they win games in blowout fashion where their offense doesn't even play that well.
Yeah, 171 total yards last week.
Yeah,
and they still won. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If something like that or the defense could get to that level, it'd be great. Now, would Scott Frost be willing to kind of play that type of offense where it's not taking a whole lot of chances and completely relying on your defense? That remains to be seen, but I think we've seen him take some steps forward in doing so. You do got to we should mention this game is big noon kickoff. Everybody knows that. I think we saw the backlash from the loss on national TV against Illinois.
Right.
I don't think if this game turns into a blowout that it'll necessarily be the story of the day, but I think you will see people start to pile on Nebraska again. So, I mean, you want national TV audience, you want the viewers, you want, future recruits to see you on TV in these big situations, but you've got to show up. And again, the reverse can happen. Even if you keep it close, people would say, okay, that was something, but at least they've gotten better from week one to where they are now. And that's how Nebraska fans feel after the last few games. Hopefully they feel that same way after this game.
I don't expect Nebraska to win. I already picked my score. You've already picked your score. Yours is much more of a blowout than mine. But I think Nebraska can get within the 22.5. I haven't even seen it today. It might be down to 21, wherever it is. But I do believe, again, there's an opportunity for Nebraska to show that they made progress with the offensive line. Turner Corcoran, part of the reason that they've struggled a little bit, he was injured in fall camp, and I think now he's getting healthier. I do believe Cam Jurgens is an excellent center. I think that Bryce Benhart has potential to be really, really good. It's the guard positions that have hurt them big. in the running game. And sometimes Scott Frost and Ryan Held have both said it. The running backs are running to the wrong hole. Sometimes it's the offensive linemen missing their block. It's a different thing every time. Sometimes it's the wide receivers. If they could start to figure out the running game a little bit, take a little pressure off Adrian Martinez, who knows? If they get into the fourth quarter and it's within a score, a touchdown, and 3 points, Oklahoma starts to get a little nervous on their home field. And don't forget, Kansas State has beaten them on their home field, 38-35. It's going to take probably close to that many points to beat them. Oklahoma didn't play well, still got 35. That's why I'm kind of thinking in that range. If Nebraska can do the things that I think they're capable of doing, play good defense, slow Oklahoma down, have a big day from the offense, who knows? Who knows? I think the momentum, the psychological advantage maybe shifts a little bit to Nebraska.
Well, and, we got to remember, too, it's not just Nebraska playing today. Oklahoma's got, even as the top 3 team in the nation, they've got their own problems that they've had in their program. And we had Jason Kersey on with The Athletic on our show yesterday, and he kept saying, whether it's the Tulane game or Kansas State, Iowa State games in the past, under Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma has had trouble putting the foot on the gas, or I should say putting the foot on the throat of the team that they have in that position. Yeah. They're not finishing games off strong. They're allowing teams to hang around and not play a full 4-quarter game. So, I mean, if you see that from Oklahoma today, that will be an outlier. And so hopefully Nebraska can avoid that, because that would be part of the course so far what things have happened. Yeah. But that's something to look out for. The other thing is the offensive line. They've been playing musical chairs up there. They haven't figured it out. Certainly everybody's a huge mammoth, 4 or 5 star recruits. Right. So don't get me wrong, there's talent there, but as you mentioned with our own offensive line, continuity matters a lot, whether it's the running back or the offensive line, just playing together, knowing what each other is going to do. And they're not there yet on that. So, in Nebraska's defensive line, that goes up along with one of maybe Nebraska's best positions of strength, that defensive line. Not a whole lot of sacks so far, but the run defense has been solid and they've had pressures. So there are a few things that you can look at that Oklahoma's got some chinks in the armor that Nebraska could take advantage of.
They're not a great running team, at least statistically. They can be explosive. I think they average 196 a game, 44th in the country. If you could make them a little one-dimensional today, and maybe take a Mims out of the game. I mean, that's where Cam Taylor-Britt is going to be. Marvin Mims is a great player, but if you could take him out of it a little bit with Cam Taylor-Britt, who's capable of shutting down really good quality wide receivers. I don't think he's played to his potential yet, but I think he'll be a key. If the defense plays well and you make Rattler a little bit one-dimensional, maybe you've got a chance.
Well, I like that not only for Nebraska's in this game, but when you look at things that can be gained from this game, a lot of money could be gained for Cam Taylor-Britt and his draft stock today. Yeah. This is your opportunity to go out and show against a Marvin Mims, guy that's like a preseason third-team All-American. People expect a lot out of him. To go out there and shut him down. If you remember Prince Amukamara's senior year, he went in with the top 5 evaluation. Then Justin Blackman kind of showed him up, and then he ended up falling to 21. Well, the reverse can happen today, where Cam Taylor-Britt hasn't maybe played his best ball. He can erase all of that by shutting down Mims and giving Nebraska an opportunity. So we'll see how that plays out, but a lot of money on the line for our guy Cam Taylor-Britt today.
It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. He's Jake Bachhoven. I'm Tom Stevens. It's brought to you by Vitalize Health. If you're lacking energy, have increased body fat, depression, or fatigue, you might have low T. Visit vitalizehealthne.com to schedule your appointment. This series has been known for trick plays. I think probably the most famous black 41 flash reverse, to the pitch to Thunder Collins. He hands it to, of course, Mike Stuntz. And Eric Crouch says it won him the Heisman. The pass to Eric Crouch down the sidelines, Nebraska ends up winning that game 20-10. And go on, of course, to play for the national title, even though they got blown out at the end of the season.
Part of that, by the way, was an Oklahoma loss to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
A 4-7 Oklahoma State team. So a lot of teams had to lose for Nebraska to get in there.
But that was the last time Nebraska was in the conversation, was against Oklahoma. The last time they were relevant was because they beat Oklahoma. This is a chance to be relevant. I'm wondering, trick plays. Will they come into play? Because we haven't seen one really from Scott Frost this entire year. We've seen a little bit of gadgetry, the flips to Xavier Betts, a little option football here triple option football that we haven't seen from Nebraska, but we haven't seen really a halfback pass, a flea flicker, anything, like Adrian going out for a pass after pitching the ball to a running back or something along those lines. Do you think we see that today?
I hope you do. I think, like you said, maybe Scott Frost has been holding it back for this game. Like our response on the text line the other day was they can't run anything. Their normal offense.
They can't execute their
so,
basic offense. You're wanting them to execute trick plays, but maybe that's the answer.
But you need an equalizer today. You need something that's gonna throw Oklahoma off probably. And so I hope they do, throw a flea flicker in there. You got to watch out for it, though, because as we mentioned in the past, too, even though it works sometimes, the bounce pass that Irving Fryer
threw. The fumble Ruski.
It was fun and all, but it wasn't open. And that's so often that happens where, the trick play is drawn up for the wide receiver or running back to throw his only pass in college, and he's throwing it. He doesn't care if it's open or not. He's going to take a chance of that, and sometimes you get turnovers on that too. So watch where you watch the timing of those calls is always very important. But I hope you do see something like that today.
I told you my legendary story. I've told it many times, but I'll tell it one more time. It was the week of the Nebraska-Oklahoma game, 2001, and I was working for the Husker Sports Network. My job was to do a pregame segment. I thought I would do it on trick plays because Nebraska-Oklahoma always came down to trick plays at the end, and I asked Frank Solich maybe 10, maybe 15 questions about trick plays because he would give you one-word answers.
Yeah.
And so you had to kind of string something together. So I kept asking him about trick plays. And finally, he just burst out, I'm not answering any more questions about trick plays. I mean, he was really, really mad. And you understood why, because he had
part of his game plan.
It was a huge part of his game plan. So he had a right to be angry. But again, my prediction, we'll be back, obviously, for other segments.
Yeah.
Are you going to save your prediction for the very end?
Because you already told me.
They already told me. Tell them what your prediction was.
Well, I think there's plenty of opportunity here. I'm going to be cheering like heck, and I think it's a huge game. But at the same time, if you're asking me honestly, what I've seen in the past for these type of games for Nebraska, where I think this team is leaving a lot of points out on the field last week, even in a win that made us feel good, I think you're a long way from competing with a team like Oklahoma. So I said 52-20. Yep. I think ultimately that's probably what's going to happen. But I'm going to be cheering and hoping that it goes the other way.
Me too. I think Nebraska covers in this game. I think they are close going late third quarter, and then Oklahoma starts to take control late third quarter into the fourth, and they win 42-24. But I hope I'm wrong as well. I hope it's much better for Nebraska. But that would be a step forward for me if Nebraska can compete, cover, look like a football team, and play some pretty clean football. We've got more. It's just about an hour and 13 minutes from kickoff. Big noon kickoff, Nebraska versus Oklahoma. The 50th anniversary of the game of the century. We'll be back with more on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show next.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary, handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric has been serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. They've been a trusted name to deliver honest, quality services you can count on. It's always important to know someone you can trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at tohostire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
Tailgating is back, and Sartor Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories in the fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artesian cakes, and especially Grandma's fruitcake, an original recipe from 1917. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus, as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina is the talk of the Haymarket, and for good reason. Grab a breakfast taco on game day morning or stop by for lunch or dinner for their huge variety of street taco options. They have everything from carne asada or chorizo tacos to shrimp or fish tacos to buffalo chicken and more. Plus, they have more than 140 different tequilas and tons of other beer or mixed drink options. At Tipsy Tina's, there's truly something for everyone. Make plans to stop by for any meal of the day at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Barnwood and Leather.
Welcome back in. A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Our segment here brought to you by Barnwood and Leather. Rustic home furnishings, American-made customized furniture and cabinet options and more. Stop by today just north of 14th in Yankee Hill. Connor Happer, Jake Sorensen, Enrique Alvarez-Clary with you as we are a little more than an hour away from kickoff between Nebraska and Oklahoma. Whew. Game day.
Let's do it.
I get this is a dangerous time for me as far as proximity to the game because
you're an optimist.
Yeah, like I just start seeing stuff and then it piles together. You know, they talk about stacking good days and stuff like that.
Yes.
This is like stacking good tweets, and I just feel really good about it right now.
Every
It's not going to be good enough for me to feel like Nebraska's going to win the game, but it's not about the Nebraska positivity. It's just like there is a big time college football game today. We are a part of it, and that's a blessing in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. All of I know you're excited for the shots of the grass on the field.
I love the grass,
but I just love looking at the shots of the stadium and everybody warming up, having a good time and dancing and laughing. Like it's fun.
Rico likes dancing
before
and
the football.
laughing. What does Jake like to see?
All the same stuff as you guys, probably.
Dancing, laughing, grass.
Yeah,
got it.
I'm a big grass guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
big fan of grass.
That's good. That's good.
Can I give you guys a stat real quick? I'm looking at
Sure.
some spreads right now in college football for today's action, and there are 2 top 5 teams that are hosting teams that are unranked. They're the exact same spread. And I want to see your guys' thoughts on this.
This isn't going to be
all
good,
right.
is it?
So Nebraska is, of course, now a 22.5 point underdog at Oklahoma, 3rd ranked Sooners. Okay. The 5th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes are hosting Kent State.
Okay, let me guess. I haven't seen it. 17.
It's 22.5.
Oh, it is.
it is.
It's just
okay.
amazing that
That's
Nebraska
23.
and Kent State playing top 5 teams can have the same spread against them.
Well, that's not completely fair.
Like, do you think Oklahoma Iowa would be a decent football game or not if they played each other?
Yeah, because of the way Iowa plays. But that's the thing about Iowa.
They don't
like
score a crap
they're
ton
not
of
going to
points.
blow out anybody.
Okay,
right?
In fact,
Yeah, they
this
don't
is- in
typically.
fact, that is a compliment to Nebraska.
They
that
blew out
they're only
Indiana.
22.5.
34
yeah,
to 6.
Got a couple defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or
They
defensive.
might do it again.
About
plays, yeah.
5 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly didn't think that Iowa would
I
win
just
that
thought it
game
was
by
interesting
25.
that Nebraska would and Kent State would have the same.
I would not pick.
deficit as
I
power
would,
spread.
I would not pick Iowa to win any single game by more than 23 points.
Okay.
Any game against anybody.
Yeah.
But
So if okay,
like it was Iowa, Northern Iowa. I think Iowa wins 31-14.
with both teams being 22.5 point dogs, Nebraska and Kent State, you'd feel more comfortable in Kent State covering that against Iowa than Nebraska versus Oklahoma?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes. I
But
wouldn't
that
put
doesn't
any
have
of-
much to do with Nebraska. Really, it doesn't. It's just about the way Iowa plays football.
All right, that's fair.
Definitely a game between Nebraska and like that's why there's so much variance about what could happen today. Like we don't know how Nebraska is going to be. We don't know how they're going to play. We know, but that's part of the variance deal, right? You could get good Nebraska. You could get bad Nebraska. You
Right.
know what Oklahoma you're going to get. And that has a chance to be really explosive. So there's a chance that Oklahoma wins by 35. There's also a chance that Nebraska keeps it close. Like there's just a wide variance there. In Kent State, Iowa, you know what you're getting, baby.
Yeah.
What's the total?
Hang on, let me find that real quick. The total, I don't have it yet.
Because it's
Give me a
definitely
second.
it's definitely no. I don't think it's anywhere close to the
If
Nebraska.
you want to guess the
Oklahoma
total, what would you guess that to be? I'll get it pulled up and buy some time.
55.
47.
I don't even see it on here. I'm on the ESPN app.
You don't
Sorry.
have one?
Well, it just says 22.5 point favorite. I don't see it over under on there.
I'll get you.
He'll get it. He'll figure it out.
Okay, I got it. What was your guess? I have it now.
I said 55.
47.
56. So good guess, Happer.
Thank you.
Dang it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it has much to do with
Okay,
Nebraska.
I just thought it was interesting that they both those teams on the road are both the same dog.
I don't know. Maybe people think differently.
In the same world as Nebraska, we're Kent State, basically.
Based off two
Like if
texts.
Nebraska played, like
That's the
that's
sad
a good
part,
point.
though, Happer.
That's a good point. Husker fan in my head says, like, if Nebraska played Iowa today, the spread is not 22.5.
I understand.
The spread is like 7,
Mhm.
right, or like 9. Or
Yeah,
10. Yeah.
probably. Probably 7.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
So that's all. All right.
Just want to get that out there.
A1, yeah, I get it. A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show with you here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Let's take a break and then run it back.
Okay, yeah.
Same crew. We're
Sounds
coming.
good.
Same crew.
We're
We're coming
behind the
back
time,
at you.
baby.
Yeah, we'll get you back next here on the pregame show.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories in the fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artesian cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake, an original recipe from 1917. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com. Proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Tailgating is back, and Sartor Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Take a look at your backyard. Does it feel like something is missing? You're right. Now is the perfect time to get an above-ground swimming pool from Bonsall Pool and Spa. Above-ground pools require less space than in-ground pools, are temporary structures if you ever choose to move, and are low maintenance. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the kids getting bored in the summertime anymore. Visit bonsallpool.com to schedule a pool service or visit them at 33rd and Highway 2. Bonsall Pool and Spa.
Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina is the talk of the Haymarket, and for good reason. Grab a breakfast taco on game day morning or stop by for lunch or dinner for their huge variety of street taco options. They have everything from carne asada or chorizo tacos to shrimp or fish tacos to buffalo chicken and more. Plus, they have more than 140 different tequilas and tons of other beer or mixed drink options. At Tipsy Tina's, there's truly something for everyone. Make plans to stop by for any meal of the day at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at TOHaasTire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Tractor Supply Distribution Center.
Back here in the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. An hour to kick off. Nebraska and Oklahoma. I wonder what they're talking about on Big Noon Fox right now. Somebody give us a report on the text line. By the way, the segment brought to you by Tractor Supply Distribution Center. Now hiring for maintenance techs for all shifts in Waverly. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
So Bob Stoops he's in Oklahoma today then, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
He is doing the big noon thing, and he was leading the crowd in Boomer Sooner and Bleep Texas chants.
Well, we could all agree with that.
Yes.
We could all get on.
I would like to watch Bob Stoops lead a Bleep Texas chant.
At least that's what was reported on Twitter.
Wow. Rico, what else is going on Twitter?
What else is going on Twitter? We've got multiple reports.
It's the blog job.
No, this is actually important.
We've got multiple reports that Travis Vokalek and Austin Allen are participating in warmups, as is Xavier Betts.
Good. Say this. See, this is how you do it. You credit our guy Nick.
Oh, Nick Sainer.
Nick is at the field.
Yes.
Our guy. He's at the game.
Start over.
Okay, let me
start
over. Again. Let me do
Our
this
guy
again.
Nick is at the game and he is reporting.
Okay, let me do this again. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, let me get.
okay.
I'll get some sound up for you too, so that way we can.
Yeah,
we can kind of do that. So, let's see.
Our guy Nick Sainert is reporting from the field down in Norman, Oklahoma, that tight ends Austin Allen and Travis Vokalek are participating in warmups.
Now, Rico, did you say both of
them?
Both
big body tight ends, Austin Allen, who went out of the Buffalo game with an injury, and Travis Vokalek, who we have not seen this season, are participating.
Why are you going like this?
Are participating in warmups. Because I'm
you have an IFB.
I'm reporting. Yeah, I'm reporting.
You're not on the scene.
You have to do this. It just feels good. I just feel good doing it.
Nick would be doing
Let me do this. No, Nick is telling me. He's telling me.
Very well.
I'm on the top of. I'm like in the concourse. He's on the field. He's
you're
telling
right
me,
here in the studio.
and I've got this. And also wide receivers Xavier Betts. Again, according to our guy Nick Sainert, Xavier Betts and Omar Manning are also participating in warmups.
Okay, so it sounds like everybody's back with the exception of Oliver Martin.
Yes,
that's right.
To this point.
Also, we had reports from other, I think maybe Sipple, possibly Aaron Sorensen, Casey Rogers is also participating in warmups.
Come on, Nick. We got to get on all the reports.
He didn't get the Casey Rogers one.
Very, very
Failing.
interesting. So I think that was kind of the expectation for the injured guys to kind of target this week. I know it was for Vokalek when he had the injury back in camp, that it was kind of right around this date that they were trying to get him back. That provides a boost. It provides a boost for Nebraska.
It does. And I again, you watched last week's game. Xavier Betts didn't come back after the first quarter. Whatever, second half, he didn't come back into play. So I was concerned about that. Austin Allen had not just the ankle, but the head injury. He said, okay, well, what's his status going to be? I'm frankly a little surprised.
Did he have an ankle too?
There's thoughts it was ankle and head.
I didn't see an ankle on the
that was being reported by
the tackle,
a couple people.
I definitely saw his head bounce off.
They
the
say
turf.
that on their broadcast and just screw it up, because he definitely just smacked his head on the ground.
That was reported by somebody. So if that was inaccurate, then whatever. If it's just the head still, concussion.
Whatever. He got hurt. Now he's warming up. That's what
I'm surprised that all those guys, besides, I knew Martin probably wouldn't play, but besides that, I thought one of those guys would sit out. But that's big news if they're effective in their playing time.
I thought Martin might come back for this game, because for the Buffalo game, they were saying afterwards that they were hoping they could have Martin back, and that he was. Well, I don't know if they said he was going through practice training, but they said they were hoping they were going to get him back.
Everybody's close.
Pulled him out. Yeah,
everybody's close. Close.
They're always close.
We'll see how close he is. Well, obviously not close enough. He's close for the last 3 weeks. He's probably not that close.
No,
we've been begging to see this 2 tight end setup with Allen and Vokalek, if it's going to be effective in blocking, and also for what the route running looks like for those guys in the field.
Because Vokalek's the better run blocker, right? That's what
he
we've
is.
heard.
So we'll see exactly what it looks like. Oklahoma hasn't seen these guys on film this year. They've seen them on film from previous years, but is there a new wrinkle in there you could play? Or you could, unveil
other than improving your ability to get downhill and conventionally run the football, which is still the biggest kind of worry going into this game for Nebraska. Can they sustain drives? Are they going to be too reliant on the big play again? Frankly, I don't really care.
At least they had the big play. They didn't have it all last year.
We could talk about, I mean, that's an offseason conversation. Like, are they too reliant on the big play? Can they conventionally run the ball downhill, like all this stuff? And you want to see them have all their options for their game plan available. But I don't care how you get it done today. Like, it doesn't particularly
I'm just happy they have big plays and
throw it around the yard. Throw it around 52 times. Like, I don't care. I think what you'll see today is Adrian Martinez running quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The stats on that have been a bit deceiving. Nebraska, I mean, Adrian Martinez is Nebraska's leading rusher, and he's certainly done the most for him. So I don't want to take that piece of it away from him. But they haven't been designed. They have rarely been design runs. His two really big gains this year, the 75-yarder against Illinois and the 71-yarder last week, were both scrambles. They were just designed passes where he made a play, and that accounts for 150 of his I don't know how many yards rushing he has, like almost 300 probably.
I'll look at it.
Somewhere around that range. That accounts for a lot of that right there. But I do think what you'll see today is Nebraska leading on Adrian Martinez quite a bit.
256.
I think that's a good chunk on 2 plays. That's a really good chunk on 2 plays.
7.5 average.
So, if I'm setting the over under Adrian Martinez rushes today at like, I don't know. I said to Schaefer yesterday 20.
That seems high.
Yeah, well, I think it's.
You think that's gonna be closer to?
Well, they're not going to be designed. It's
I know. I understand.
Oh no, there will be some designs.
Well, yeah,
be
but no,
plenty
it's
of
like not
design
all
runs.
designed. I'm saying 20 seems about right with the amount of pressure he's probably.
Yeah, not
going
20.
to face.
Not 20 designed.
Yeah,
but he'll have the ball in his hands a lot.
20
today.
designed.
He's the quarterback, but yeah,
82 yards.
I think it'd be fun just for the old, for the sake of old times here for Nebraska, because we had success this year in the Samari Toure option play. It's been successful every time he's ran it. Oklahoma knows Nebraska in the past is an option team. It'd be funny if you actually had some success multiple times with that option play, which has been very, very successful for Nebraska this year.
There's a wrinkle there that they haven't shown in a while since the
option pass
option, like under center option, the one drive that was successful against the best team Nebraska's played the last 3 years against Ohio State, and they were on their heels, confused the entire time.
Maybe add some more running backs in there.
That wrinkle still exists. I mean, the game flow and the kind of script of it will dictate what's going to happen today or what you see today. But if Nebraska's in this game in the second half at all, they're pulling out all the stops. I mean, Adrian Martinez is running as much as, if we've ever seen him run before, and they're going to do whatever they can to get first down, keep drives on the field, make plays defensively. Like that it's coming out. Like if they have a chance to win this game, they are going to go after it.
Feed Savion Morrison the ball. He's back in Oklahoma. He broke all the high school records.
Feed Savion Morrison.
Wow, that's a take, Rico. That is a take right there.
He did not get the scholarship offer to Oklahoma that he did want. At least that was reported. He did want the Oklahoma offer. He didn't get that one. Let him have his revenge game. A little chip on his shoulder. I think it'll be good for him.
The Savion Morrison revenge game.
I don't know if I see that happening today, Rico. But I like your optimism.
Rico, there's a lot of storylines in this game.
It's
the 50th anniversary of the game of the century.
And I want this one. I want this one.
You can have it by yourself on your own island.
You got where Nebraska's at. You got where Oklahoma's at. But it's
Savion
Morrison Day.
Yes. Rico is all about 100%. Recent stuff.
I love that.
Savion.
I love that. We were talking about this with Sipple earlier, and I want to bounce the thought kind of off you guys. So, Sipple talked about, and we've seen it. Adrian Martinez seems to be in a pretty good place mentally, whatever that means, physically as well. He's been really, really sharp over the last 2 weeks. That cannot go unnoticed, by the way, from what Nebraska's done. I know that it's been inferior competition, but he's been very, very good over the last couple of weeks. You have that. You feel the way you feel about Nebraska's defense, which I think is pretty good. Now against Oklahoma's offense, the game changes a little bit. You have Scott Frost saying yesterday that, we feel like we're a team with that feels good about ourselves, but also at the same time, we got nothing to lose in this game, which I agree with. I think they're right. They can just go out there, play their game today, loose and free. With that being said, is Nebraska as good of a position as they have been in recent memory to play well in a game like this? You think about games like this over the last, I don't know, half a decade, whatever it's been over the last two coaching staffs. And I mean, there's been some real duds in there. You think about Michigan in 2018, you think about Ohio State in 2019, you think about Ohio State in 2020, 27, like all the Ohio State games, basically, with the exception of 2018.
Yeah.
All the Ohio State games. And Nebraska has largely been out of those games halfway through the first quarter. And how you start massively important, but I feel like I feel the best about Nebraska coming into this game. This is regardless of opponent than I have in any of those games.
I think I feel better about them, like you said, but it all comes down to is your speed good enough for Oklahoma? You feel good about
Why?
them. You're big
you don't
enough
have to match their speed. Screw that. You don't want to do that. You can't keep up with them.
Can your defensive backs keep up with their receivers? Is my question.
You are clearly not fast enough.
Yeah.
You're obviously not fast enough. But what are you? You're bigger. You're bigger. So play that style of football. You have to try to execute and dictate tempo.
It would be nice if Nebraska, if the defense can actually get in the backfield and get to Rattler and can, if the linebackers can make some big hits too.
I think they can.
Oklahoma's also got an inexperienced offensive line. We talked on Thursday to a Sooners radio network reporter, and he was telling us how they're starting a redshirt freshman at center. They're still trying to figure out who they have at each tackle position. They're still rotating guys out. They have a feeling of what they want, but they're not 100% sure exactly who's going to be starting at each position. And like they have a redshirt freshman in the middle, and that's where you feel really confident.
Talking to people from Oklahoma, that's what they're worried about. Nebraska's defensive line is big. They're big for anybody.
It's got to start mattering in this game.
I'm telling you, they're big. They're big for Oklahoma too. Like it's a big team, and their offensive line has been not great to start off the season. I think that's where Nebraska will have. I have a lot of confidence in Nebraska's ability to stop the run against anybody in the country.
Oklahoma's also down. They lost their 1 and 2 running backs to the transfer portal before the season even started.
Yeah, they're going to pass it like 60 times today.
So can you get home? Can you get home and can you defend after Rattler extends plays? I think you want to keep him bottled up as much as you can. But those are the questions for the defense.
I think about and this is why you feel good about Nebraska at least hanging in there for a while. When you look back at Kansas State has beat Oklahoma the last 2 years. They play a physical brand of football. They're one of the more physical teams in the Big 12 conference, and their defense forced turnovers for Oklahoma. They ran the ball effectively. They had a smart offensive game plan. But they set the tone with physicality early on, and that's how they won the game. And they got turnovers off of that. So Nebraska should be, like you said, they should be a tougher team in a tougher conference in terms of the physicality and how big people are in the Big Ten. So if you can have that set the tone early on, then maybe you start believing in Nebraska if you're a player on the team.
I don't see a way that Nebraska wins this game if they don't win the turnover margin by 2.
2?
Okay.
By 2.
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah, I think you're and guess what? Here's and I know that might seem steep given what Nebraska's turnover margin has been, but listen, Rattler's going to throw one away. You're going to get one. Mm-hmm. Can you get 2? And I think in the Tulane game he threw 3. I want to.
He only has 2 on the season. It was both Tulane.
So both in the Tulane game. So he threw 2 in that game, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm. The first one was like,
and then
first quarter, he just chucked it up.
Nebraska can't turn the ball over. That means on offense, which they haven't really done this year, with the exception of the weird fumble with Adrian that was taken back for a touchdown in the disaster Illinois thing. That's their one offensive turnover all year. They've turned it over a couple times on special teams.
2 offensive.
3 turnovers in special teams and offense.
Yeah, 3 times on special teams.
Horrendous.
Which you cannot do. I mean, you cannot do. So if you could, if we're talking 3-1, if we're talking 4-2, if we're talking 2-0, Nebraska might be in that game. If you just give me that might be the most telling stat today that gets me to the point of like, oh, okay, Nebraska can hang here.
So how about Nebraska no turnovers first off would be great. If they force 1 turnover but it goes back for a touchdown, you think would that be
if
acceptable?
Nebraska
takes one back
for a touchdown?
Does that count as 2?
Does that count for 2?
Because you scored on the
semantics. I don't know. That'd be great. I'm not sure. I don't know.
That would be.
What if they just
finish
off a drive?
That's 1.5 turnovers.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
I think. I think they got to win it by at least 2, and I think that's a telling stat. If we look back at the game and Nebraska loses by more than what the spread says they're going to lose by, and Oklahoma wins 3-1 in the turnover margin, like you know what happened.
Big reason.
You know what happened.
Yeah, I think this is always pretty much an obvious key, but I think more so today than some games. It's Nebraska has to get out. They can't be in a 14-0 hole off the bat.
No.
I mean, this team, Oklahoma's defense is good. It's not great. It's good, but that you start questioning yourself. This defense right now is the best part of this Nebraska squad. That they are carrying the load. 3 points against a respectable Buffalo team last week. They did a great job there. If they're down 14-0. 7 minutes in, I don't see you coming out of that hole. It gets ugly at that point to me.
Be curious. A lot was made out of this last week, and I talked about it too before the game. Be curious to see what they do if they win the coin toss today. I don't think it's a slam dunk that you put your defense out there first. I don't know, but I don't know. There's no good options. You're playing the number 3 team in the country, but
if you want to show that you have nothing to lose, you're going to be aggressive. I think you take that ball. Say, hey, you know what? We're gonna set the tone here.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did that. Yeah,
I'm fine with not taking it in the Big Ten, but in this game, if you need it, you're an underdog. No one thinks you're gonna win. Take the ball, be aggressive, have some confidence there.
Yeah,
the offense. My thing is the offense line just has to give Adrian some semblance of time in the pocket because. We were talking to Chris Plank Thursday. He said the linebackers love to get downhill. That's what Tulane was taking advantage of. They're running slants across the middle after they ran it a couple of times. They weren't getting much headway in the running game, and I don't really see Nebraska getting much headway in the running game either. But if you kind of do what you did against Buffalo, where you're getting 2-3 yards, but you just keep going at it, you just keep running it. Maybe you break a 10-yarder here or there.
That means
and then
something.
The linebackers start sucking up. Then you just start throwing slants because the slant route's not going to take that long to develop. So the pass rush, the quarterback hurry isn't really going to matter that much. If you snap the ball, you take 1-2 steps. Samori Toure or Omar Manning or whoever is running across the middle where linebackers used to occupy space. And then that'll just open up so much more to this game. But you have to keep Adrian clean.
It's the most underrated part of what they've done over the last 2 games. And I know everybody wants to focus on the offensive line play and how bad it's been. And I'm not going to disagree with you there. But even though they haven't been able to run the ball conventionally, they have stuck to it. And that means something. That gets the stuff going that Rico's talking about, the quick pass game, and they can use that as an extension of the run game. And then all of a sudden, Samori Toure's open for 61-yard touchdown passes.
And that's how you take advantage of the secondary because you
have to stick to it. And I know it's hard. You might be in a hole today where it's like, oh, it's getting scary and we need a first down right here. You have to stick to your game plan. Trust your defense. That's super important in a day like today. Quickly, 2 more things before we finish things out and turn it back over here. Nebraska, according to some pictures that I have received, by the way, if anybody's at the game or going to the game, I love every picture that I've seen today.
More pictures, please.
It's beautiful, beautiful college football morning. It appears that the stripes are back on Nebraska's pants.
Oh,
and I'm very
right?
confused.
Oh,
this
just
is
for this game, or that has it been the whole season?
This is a big deal to nobody, but
you say that
I am Team Stripes, and I have always been Team Stripes, and I will forever resent Scott Frost for taking the stripes off of the pants when he got back here in 2018. I hate you for that, Scott Frost. But if he brings the stripes back for a classic rivalry game today, he will earn a little bit of trust back from me.
Takes it back off for
there
next
was
week.
a uniform thing update showing like the uniforms worn for the past meetings between Oklahoma and Nebraska. The stripes were on the pants for Nebraska and Oklahoma for every game they played. So it could just be a this game thing.
That'll be something to watch today.
Keep
the second thing is
okay. Number 2.
Just taking a quick look at some other of the Big Ten games today. We haven't done this much on this version of the pregame show.
We haven't. Yeah, we should do that.
So I want to say this: Nebraska's loss to Illinois will probably, and don't quote me on this because you could always get worse, but that will probably go down as the worst loss that Nebraska's had in the Scott Frost era.
The Troy one was bad, but you had a third-string quarterback in Andrew Bunch playing that day.
Yeah,
and
it
also his first
it was
year.
Their third game. Yeah.
Yeah. Last night, Illinois did almost beat Maryland. Oh, by the way, they almost won that game.
Yeah,
they were up 17-10 in the fourth quarter.
But they're really bad.
They are really bad.
Their loss last
they were still almost 2-0.
Was garbage.
Yeah, they were almost 2-0 in conference play after last night. But yeah, I mean, they got blasted by Virginia. They got beat by Texas San Antonio. That was a bad loss. We all knew it. And it's the fact they were down by 21 points, which is horrendous. It's not like it was a fluke, like a last-second Hail Mary. You were getting blasted by Illinois.
You were
getting your ass kicked by
30-9.
Illinois. It was 30-9.
It was 30-9.
Not great, Bob.
So it was like a Creighton, Nebraska basketball
It
score.
really was.
Except
Thank
for
you.
better.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Nice.
For a moment, it was. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I think Nebraska's in a different, headspace now, which is good. I think they have the ability to go out there and play well today. But that's going to age so poorly. That loss is, and we knew it in the moment. We knew it that it was a bad loss in the moment, but we knew also that it was going to age poorly, or at least I thought that. My direct response afterwards, Bach and I talked about the postgame show. We're like, Nebraska just got blown out by a team who is not going to a bowl game
or winning more than 2 games.
They're not very good.
I was hoping that Illinois would have a good season or a decent season, just to cushion the blow.
By the way, Brandon Peters was atrocious last night. He was so bad. His
Maybe they should start Art.
He at one point he was 8 for 25 with at least 2 picks at one point in that game. They just got a fumble, return. They recovered a fumble after a touchdown. Yes. 10-10, and then the next play he throws a pick. It's a horrible. It was over the Luke Ford's head, the good tight end, by like 10 yards.
They also scored a touchdown in which they fumbled.
Yep,
it was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Are you guys shocked as I am that Cincinnati on the road to Indiana, number 8 Cincinnati, is only a 3.5 point favorite?
No, that makes sense.
No,
With the way Illinois needs to play or Indiana needs to play to win football games, I mean, they have no offense. But
don't you think it'd be more than 3.5 though? I would think it's more than 3.5 points.
It's just Penix, and if Penix is bad, they're horrible.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the line seems low to me. It should be higher.
They're just like Iowa in the sense that they have to play defense and so you're probably looking at a close game.
I think they're thinking Indiana's defense is better than what they've shown.
Miami 6.5 point favorite against Michigan State hosting them. I see a Michigan State victory there today.
I got Miami.
Miami just barely beat Appalachian State on a last-second field goal last week. Again, that's not a horrible team, App State.
Yeah, try not to buy too much into the Sparty hype, but I like what I've seen so far. I think they pull the.
We'll have some eyes on that. Also, 11 a.m. kick. Yeah. Michigan State.
I think the turnover chain gets some use today.
Do we ever find did the drum make it to Notre Dame for Purdue, or is it not allowed in? Do we have clarification?
As of yesterday,
do we have clarification on the drum?
As of yesterday, there was a big story written about how it won't be there for the first time since 1979 or something.
Tragedy. Just a tragedy.
Sad. All they had to do was take it to the other side of the stadium.
Minnesota, Colorado is a fun little matchup. Colorado is a 2.5 point favorite at home, which that one might be a little odd to me. But Minnesota,
Colorado almost beat Texas A&M last week.
Yeah, and Minnesota didn't look great. So there's your.
I'm fine with it. You guys are shocked by that spread. I'm fine with that spread. Colorado has looked pretty decent through 2 games.
It's crazy how far Minnesota has fallen when they lost Mo Ibrahim.
Well, that dude's.
I mean, he's fantastic.
That dude's the best
he's
in the
amazing.
conference, man. It's a conference. It's a game changer.
One more quick thing. Thank you, Adam, on the text line for sending in this picture of Baz's tweet that I missed. So,
oh boy,
Nebraska is wearing gray face masks today. Throwbacks. I don't know if their jerseys are going to have any nod to it, but their uniforms, at least in some subtle regard, are throwbacks today.
Both teams tearaway jerseys.
I love this. This is great. Keep steering into this whole game of the century thing. This will be really, really fun. Nebraska and Oklahoma. We'll take a quick time out here. A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show returns next.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln. Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at TOHaasTire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
What would you do if Nebraska takes the lead in the fourth quarter because Cam Taylor-Britt returns a punt for a touchdown?
That is hard. I might have some big heart palpitations.
Think about it in the context of the game of the century.
Yeah.
What kind of storyline would that be? Cam Taylor-Britt pushes Nebraska ahead. I'd write about it after Baz and Parker resuscitated.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Take a look at your backyard. Does it feel like something is missing? You're right. Now is the perfect time to get an above-ground swimming pool from Bonzal Pool and Spa. Above-ground pools require less space than in-ground pools, are temporary structures if you ever choose to move, and are low maintenance. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the kids getting bored in the summertime anymore. Visit bonzalpool.com to schedule a pool service or visit them at 33rd and Highway 2. Bonzal Pool and Spa.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie.
Andy, when people drive by your lot, they don't see as many new Hondas as normal, but I'm told you have hundreds on the way.
We sure do, Charlie. We have more than 500 to choose from that are either here or on the way. Most of them are inbound.
Do you still have that great financing, Andy?
We do, as low as 0% APR financing on select new Honda.
What about used cars and trucks?
Well, right now we have more than 120 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, in just about any make or model. And we have over 50 certified pre-owned Hondas to choose from.
Andy, that is really great news for your customers. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Segment brought to you by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength and training classes. And learn how to fuel your body with nutrition coaching. Learn more today at fxblincoln.com. Just a couple more segments here, a couple more quick ones before we get to Nebraska, Oklahoma. Don't forget the Husker After Party postgame show will begin the second the game ends. In fact, last week, Bach, it started a couple seconds early.
I still
because I was just over it.
I still haven't seen if Connor Kolb made that field goal.
He made it.
Tom says he's made it.
He made the field goal.
We didn't see.
He made it.
I was like,
and how can you not review that?
He made
How
it.
is that not reviewed? I mean, somebody had to have seen that it went through the upright.
Yeah, at worst you review it, but they were just like, nope, no good, bye.
That was the worst officiating I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a really bad 5 minutes for those guys.
Yeah.
Just a tough 5 minutes.
Did the Big Ten came down and said that a few of the plays were wrong, but did they say that field goal was good?
No, they didn't
No.
say anything about the field goal. They said the
Ah.
offensive pass interference should not have been called,
Yeah.
and the pitch should not have been called either.
Well, if the
So that's 17 points right there.
if the pitch is allowed, then the field goal doesn't happen.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right. So that it's 21. 21
Well,
points.
14.
It's like
points.
we're back.
Yeah.
There was drives last week where they took points off the board and then they scored anyway. It's hard to keep track of. They basically should have won 42-3.
You know something weird that I've seen with the stadium thus far at the Gaylord Stadium in Norman is that they're pretty proud of 30 bowl championships.
What's a bowl championship?
I think it's a bowl win.
It's just winning a bowl game.
I don't think that's a championship. Sooners, that's a bowl win.
You are no, because you're the whatever bowl champion.
That's
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a trophy that goes
You
with
I
it.
get a
just
trophy.
think Oklahoma's got like 7 Heisman trophies and 7 national
national
titles.
titles.
You don't have to inflate your ego
Yeah.
and say we won bowl championships.
You could probably just say we won a bowl game.
Yeah,
Didn't UCF show us that you can just claim championships when you want to?
that's right. Scott Frost has
No,
a
no,
national
no.
championship.
This is not a claim. Somebody voted. Like there is a
There's
metric.
a magazine.
There's a metric. I don't know if it's a vote or
Right.
whatever, but there's like 32 different things who get to pick who the national champion
Right.
was. Obviously, the only one who
Yeah,
matters is the college football playoff.
right.
But then there's like things that there's other people who decided who the national champion is too, and one of those things said UCF won,
Right.
So they can put it on their
they
stadium.
they did.
So
it.
they
It is a
technically
fact.
split
They-
a
they-
national champion.
Yeah. I mean,
In
Alabama-
1/32
Alabama and UCF.
but haven't you seen that in college football that Iowa now claims the 1929 national championship or something like? Along
Yeah, there's
those
a lot
lines?
of.
I mean,
If they got number 1 votes at the
Yeah.
end of the year,
Yeah.
that's how
That's
it
fine.
worked.
Minnesota's
fine.
got like 6 from back then.
It
So.
just feels like ballot stuffing to me.
Well, it
to
feels-
go back and claim it.
It's weird because Oklahoma, even going through their history, they've got a lot of like undefeated seasons that weren't national championships, and a lot of teams did just because there wasn't the great
Yeah.
idea to play number 1 versus number 2 at the end of the season.
Why would
that
you
seemed
do
to
that?
make way too
Yeah.
much sense because they were like, oh, they're like everybody was like the
That'd
Big
be
Ten and the
ridiculous.
Pac-12. We're
Yeah.
going to the Rose Bowl
Right.
because that's what our contract
You
says.
play who you play, baby.
Yeah.
We don't make up these weird games.
Oh, you're the best team on the East Coast. Whatever.
Yeah. Have you guys ever considered the thought that Nebraska could win?
Yes.
And what would happen if they did win? I think people might go into Memorial Stadium and tear down the goalposts and just walk them down.
we
those
should
streets.
we should do that.
should do that.
Should we do that?
Well,
Should
they've
we
got
man-
those.
Do you want me to man on the street it? If that happens, I'll go live on Facebook, on my own Facebook or whatever, and I'll keep
Yeah,
you
your
guys
own
informed.
Facebook. Don't mention any association with the team.
Keep you guys informed.
I would love to do a post game show after a big win. I've never done that.
What was the? Did you have the stat
Michigan
earlier?
State. You weren't doing the post game
No,
at that point.
he wasn't.
Tom, you had a stat
I don't
that
know.
you told me, I think off air, of
What's
that
that?
the like 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 times the goalpost has been taken down. It's
The
versus Oklahoma.
The goalposts have been taken down. Sean Callahan actually did this
Okay.
the other day. The goalposts in Memorial Stadium have been torn down 8 times. 6 of those times were against Oklahoma. The other 2, gentlemen, anyone? Bueller,
No
Colorado.
idea. No
Colorado is correct. In
Both of them?
1992
Oh,
and
the 92
94.
Colorado game.
Yeah. Both, I believe, on Halloween.
Oh, nice.
My buddy Lloyd was dressed up as Santa Claus on Halloween. And if you know Lloyd, he's a huge man. He's 6'10".
I don't know Lloyd.
Let me introduce you to Lloyd. He's 6'10". And he was dressed up as Santa Claus, and he was on the top of that goalpost
Awesome.
after
That's
the
a-
game. It was
that's a big
and it's
Santa Claus.
he's still got that frame saved on his VCR.
You guys ready to hear this?
Hit me.
There has been a scuffle.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
There has been a pregame scuffle.
That's awesome. The rivalry's real.
We are so bad.
Oh, I hope they go at midfield like they used to do with like Colorado.
Yeah.
Just
They were
argue
at
with each
midfield.
other.
Look at the picture.
Are they doing it?
Look at the
Who
picture.
tweeted it out?
Everybody.
I wonder if it was staged.
It's a big scuffle.
It's a scuffle.
I wonder if that was a little staged. Rich Glover talks about the game of the century, and they're warming up. The Nebraska team is warming up, and Oklahoma runs right through them on their way to the locker room. And he said it was pretty close to being a scuffle.
Wow.
Yeah, they just showed that on they're replaying some of the game of the century stuff on Big Noon.
I love a good pregame scuffle.
Oh yeah, when's the last time Nebraska had one?
It's been a while.
Miami? When did
Miami,
anything happen with Miami? That was mostly just talk.
I remember that happened with Colorado quite a few times.
Just a little dust up, just a couple shoves, probably some naughty words.
I like it. Not the same team. Two different teams. I like that because then it'd be almost funnier if it was
This is good. And talking to Simple this morning, like he said, basically it feels like a big time college football game, and he mentioned it's good context to have. Some of Nebraska's road trips. I mean, you think about week 0 at Illinois, where we're like, yeah, this is huge. This is a big game, and it's on national TV. But you walk around Champaign, you don't know there's a football game happening.
No,
you walk into Norman, Oklahoma, you know what's going on. There's a buzz about it. There's a feel. It's big time college sports. This is where Nebraska belongs. But can they compete in this game? Is the question.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you compete? Do you play clean? Do you not, look like a team that hasn't been coached at a high level? And they're going to have to. I don't think they have to play perfect, but they have to play pretty close to perfect to even be in this game in the fourth quarter. And, maybe they're going to have to be a little more aggressive. I think that the 2018 version of Scott Frost's team, the one that we saw in Columbus, almost pull off the victory. This is a similar team. Likes to throw the football more than run the football. I would compare Spencer Rattler more to a Dwayne Haskins than a Justin Fields. He likes to sit in the pocket and throw it, and he'll make a mistake if you let him.
Sure will.
He was benched last year for a reason. I think he's a great, great talent, but I don't think he's Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's Kyler Murray.
I don't know. Maybe he might be.
Those are all NFL starters, by the way. So at this point in his career, probably not.
He has better arm talent than all of those, but the athleticism-wise, he is not as athletic as.
Does he have a better arm talent than Baker? Baker's pretty darn good.
Yes, he has better arm talent than Baker.
He does.
And Kyler Murray has a rocket for an arm. I mean, and is the mobility to go with it.
Yeah,
could play baseball.
Nah, Spencer Rattler's got the better arm of those four, but all of them are way more athletic than he is.
Yeah.
I was talking about Carson Wentz, and when I get that special feeling when he throws a football,
you get that with Spencer Rattler.
It's that same way. Unfortunately, he'll overthrow, he'll miss,
and
he
trusts his arm too much sometimes, and that's what gets him into trouble.
He thinks he can make every throw. He's the
how many quarterbacks
example
give
of
you this special feeling?
Just Carson Wentz.
Just Carson Wentz.
Just Carson Wentz.
He does throw it a certain way.
It's a thing of beauty,
and he'll make some mistakes. And Nebraska, can they be there? Can they take advantage of it? That'll be the question today. And can they not make mistakes themselves?
Right. Yeah, I mean, number 2 has done it. I mean, I think you wipe out that play that it looked like a quarterback draw to me right at the end of a half. That one play, and that's the biggest. He didn't play great in that game throughout, but that was the one big play that's always hurt him in those types of situations. The fumble, the scoop score versus Illinois. You take that away, and I think Nebraska wins that game. And that those are the things that he has to do at a really high level.
It's just the one time. That's the one thing he's done wrong this year.
But it's been every year.
It's been nice to have the good Adrian and all the praise for him the last couple of games. I hope. I think there's a possibility when you step up the level of competition, we might have some fans angry at Adrian again.
It definitely changes. How about this? Parker Gabriel says Trent Hickson is with the group, the top group at left guard. As they're showing the scuffle there.
Oklahoma's instigating it.
Looks like Cam Taylor, Britt, and
Dismuke.
No, Dismuke or Williams.
Yeah.
He's
still
kick them all out.
Yeah. The Sooners are instigators.
It's like,
I love it.
It started with like 3 Huskers
I wish
and
we
like
were
20
instigators.
Sooners.
Yeah.
I don't know
Daniels
what happened.
hopping in there. Damian Daniels hopping in there.
Oh yeah, he's getting close.
Who would you bet on from Nebraska?
Damian Daniels, you need your helmet again.
Who would I bet on?
You cannot play without a helmet.
He doesn't care about his head protection.
Which you want to
at
talk
all.
about a stupid penalty? That's about as stupid.
There you
as
go,
it
Yeah.
gets. Continuing to play without a helmet.
Ty Robinson's pulling people
But they
back.
don't call the hands to the face. That took the helmet off of his face.
Right.
you
Like,
watch-
how does helmet fall
If
off?
you watch the replay, it's not only hands to the face. He rips his helmet off, and like his hand is holding the helmet off, and he throws it down behind him.
Right.
Like
That's
the
not
offensive
called.
lineman's just like, "I'll take that. You don't need it."
I know they always catch the last guy, but the first guy was pretty egregious. Come on.
Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back. We'll gather everybody in, and we'll make our final predictions for Nebraska, Oklahoma as we round out the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show next.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary, handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at tohaastire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
Experience an increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina is the talk of the Haymarket, and for good reason. Grab a breakfast taco on game day morning or stop by for lunch or dinner for their huge variety of street taco options. They have everything from carne asada or chorizo tacos to shrimp or fish tacos to buffalo chicken and more. Plus, they have more than 140 different tequilas and tons of other beer or mixed drink options. At Tipsy Tina's, there's truly something for everyone. Make plans to stop by for any meal of the day at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Hey guys, looking for that extra confidence when it's time to have fun? Let me tell you about BlueChew.com. BlueChew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. BlueChew tablets help men combat all forms of ED. BlueChew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. BlueChew's tablets are chewable. BlueChew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try BlueChew free when you use our promo code TICKET at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TICKET to receive your first month free.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs. If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Back to the Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Planet Fitness.
Things we've learned on the pregame show today. Stripes are back.
Yes.
Injured players are playing with the exception of Oliver Martin. And scuffles
are back.
As
I
well.
don't think I've ever seen a scuffle that involved the athletic director before.
It didn't involve him, did it?
He was right in the middle of it.
He was
apparently.
right in the middle of that scrum. Trev Alberts.
Now there
was
was no physical contact.
No
I think with
physical
anybody. So
contact,
it might have
but
just
was
been
he
separating people.
Afterwards,
He
or
was
was
flexing. He was flexing.
not flexing.
Here's the thing. Why is Oklahoma on our side of the field? Everybody knows it's a 50-50.
Oh, this is why I love Oklahoma, though. That's so Oklahoma of them to start a scuffle. Yeah. They've always had that edge to them. That Nebraska's got Nebraska nice. Oklahoma's got we're not doing that.
Biggest question.
Get off our side of the field.
Does Nebraska have their flag? It's very important for after the game.
Oh yeah,
we have to plant it.
It's very important.
Is Baker Mayfield there to plant a flag?
And as everyone knows, this is a rivalry that is based on respect.
That's right. Yep.
And exclusively respect.
And
that's why there
hate.
was a pregame shaking of hands.
I respect your face so much, I want to put my fist
That's
in.
right. I want to change your face right now. Scott Frost really upset before the game. Obviously, they're warming up, and Oklahoma players cross the midfield to as far as the 40-yard line.
Get off our side of the field. It's simple.
And Alberts was in the discussion with the officials, apparently, according to Andy Kendi, right there in the middle of the field.
Get off our side of the field. You get 50, we get 50.
Why'd you pass the 50?
That's all you get. I'm sorry. This is we're about to lose this respect.
Get this respect.
Come over here. Get this respect.
Don't make me take that sticker off the back of your helmet.
I'm fired up, man. It's a great scene. I'm really, really excited to watch the game now. Part of me almost forgets that they're a 22.5-point underdog. Almost.
You just reminded yourself.
Almost, but not quite. It's a big day for both programs, that's for sure. What is Clay Travis doing on the TV?
Travis. It's like the special guest picker for the Big Noon.
Get out of here, Clay.
I guess so. Yeah. Shall we go around the table and have a final thought and make a prediction?
I think
Who wants to offer their?
I will. I'll go first. I think Nebraska has a chance here, but they haven't had a sack in 11 quarters. That has to change. Mm-hmm. They have to run the football. They haven't done a good job of that. And number 2 has to have a great game. I'm confident already the defense will play well. If they can make Oklahoma somewhat one-dimensional, and they're a really good passing team, a mediocre running team right now. I think that's one of the strengths of this defense is the ability to stop the run. If they can do that today, give Adrian enough time, run the football at least a little bit to keep it somewhat balanced, I think Nebraska can hang in for 3 quarters, but I don't think they're going to beat Oklahoma regardless of what happens today. I just think there's too much firepower offensively. 42-24.
42-24.
I'm already seeing conspiracy theorists out there. Jacques Yant has made the trip.
That's right. That's right.
Do we see fullback yet? Fullback. Hey, I'm all in if that's the case. Let's go. Get that fullback
He's
out
been
there.
hiding him for 3 games
That's
to get
right.
him. Yeah,
we've been ready. We've been
prepare
waiting
him.
for this game for Jack Kazient. With that being said, Oklahoma wins 38-17. Nebraska covers the spread.
All right.
We
We plant the flag at midfield.
Because we covered the
Because
spread.
we covered.
I would take that almost.
Great
right
teams
now.
cover.
38-17 Oklahoma.
Great teams cover, Bach. Perfectly so.
I don't know. The scuffle's swaying me. Maybe Nebraska wins now. Who knows?
I'll go quick because I don't have a very great prediction for you.
Oh,
I think this is the typical measuring stick game, 52-20. Sooners.
Nebraska?
get the victory.
No.
not Nebraska. But 20. That means
Will there be
2 field goals?
Over under 2 more scuffles in the game? Over.
Oh,
under.
nice. Yeah,
2 more scuffles.
I think a pregame scuffle is definitely a predeterminant for
You're
more.
setting yourself up for more scuffles.
Couple more personal fouls.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's a good prediction.
Nebraska's just got to take advantage of the injuries in the Oklahoma defensive backfield. And
That's right.
That's right.
Take advantage.
You're saying bomb the ball?
Bomb the ball. Take advantage
Screw
of
running the ball, bomb the ball.
Take advantage of the inexperienced offensive
out
line that
nationally.
Oklahoma has and get to Spencer Rattler multiple times. Force some turnovers. Get in his head.
Toure goes for 4
42-35.
Nice.
Who wins?
Who wins?
30.
Nebraska.
Oh! We have an official Nebraska pick.
I love it.
I love it, Rico.
It had to be what, Jake?
Kool-Aid boy over there.
Fullback gets at least 1 touchdown.
Chug that Kool-Aid, Rico.
Fullback.
Someone has to.
Fullback
gets at least 1 touchdown.
So Jock Ant is scoring and Nebraska's winning by a touchdown or more.
Are you sure this just isn't your dream?
All right, Rico.
This is a dream.
You are crazy.
In order for that to happen, Nebraska would have to win the turnover battle by quite a large margin. I think they can hang there today. I just don't like the offense to get over 30 today, and you have to do it. I mean, that's the number they have to get to at the bare minimum to even be in this game. And I just don't know if I trust them to do it. I still don't. So I think Nebraska 27, Oklahoma 44.
Yep.
So they cover the number.
Yeah. That's good. That's about what I've got.
We're covering the number. We plant our flag at midfield.
Jack Kazient. Go home. Bring home Jack Kazient. Fullback.
Only one.
We'll talk to you guys around 2:30 when this thing ends. Should be a fun ride. Enjoy it. We'll talk to you guys then.